Buenas tardes a todos, chavales. Otro viernes más con el Inside Star Citizen... Perdón, con el Star Citizen Live. Y en esta ocasión nos van a hablar de la Arena Commander y el Star Marine. Saludos a Pipito, Echo, Harlock, RV, Wild y Malísima Mala. Y Cartaginés. Y no sé, ¿se me queda alguien? Igual se me queda alguien, Si se me queda alguien, echarme la bronca, que estoy así todo... Bueno, pues vamos allá.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Star Citizen Live, Arena Commander, Star Marine, and the Good Doctor. I'm your host, Jared Huckabee, and joining us on the show this week are two people. One you're going to be probably very familiar with, and one, well, you might be meeting for the very first time. Let's start with a person that you're all probably going to be very familiar with. Sean, tell us who you are and what you do for Star Citizen.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Tracy, the Technical Director of Content at Cloud Imperium Games, and recently, over the last few months anyways, have been working with the likes of Richard and Todd and John Crew and everyone on the combat pillar for Star Citizen.
Right.
Bueno, está diciendo, se está presentando, ¿no? Que es Sean y tal. Aparte ha dicho bienvenidos a todo el mundo al tema del Star Marine y el Good Doctor y tal. Que parece que luego le han cambiado el título. Y nos comentan que, bueno, que ha estado trabajando con John Tracy, no, con otros desarrolladores, ¿no? En el tema del pilar del combate, la base del combate. La verdad es que ya era hora, echábamos de menos que trabajas en el combate, ¿no?
So folks who remember the conversation about pillars at last year's CitizenCon and have followed with recent episodes of Pillar Talk know that we've separated our development into, how many pillars are there? 6, 7?
Six. I think 6, but really...
You pay attention to the ones you worked
they
on.
kind of weave in and out, right? Like, it's like, oh, well, is ships a pillar? Yes, of course ships are a pillar, you know,
Yeah.
and it's... Yeah.
Gotcha. So you are presently in charge of the...
We just call it combat, but realistically what it is, it's a combination of a couple teams, and it's the actor feature team, the weapon feature team, a bit of the weapon content team, then an internal level team.
Vale, está comentando de que hay 6 pilares, porque le acabo de preguntar Lando cuántos pilares hay, le ha dicho que 6. Pero que bueno, que a veces aparece algún pilar extraño o bueno. Y que además, que en realidad le llamamos pilar de combate, pero en realidad está compuesto por varias personas. Está compuesto por la gente de diseño de niveles, la gente de diseño de armas.
And some gameplay teams. So FPS systems design really exists.
Ahí está el equipo de gameplay, o sea, está compuesto por varios equipos, ¿vale? Lo que es el pilar en sí.
Within this combat pillar. So the biggest part of what we're doing recently, anyways, is on the actor gameplay, the core gameplay of Star Citizen, not in the ships.
Gotcha.
Claro, y además dice que otro de los equipos que trabaja en el desarrollo es el equipo que se dedica al actor gameplay, que es cómo se comportan los personajes y demás, ¿no? Y entonces está diciendo que además, bueno, que trabajan todos los equipos que tengan que ver con el FPS y demás en el asunto, en el combate del pilar. O sea, en el pilar del combate, perdón. Y que además comentaba ahí... se me ha ido. Comentaba de que trabajan activamente en el núcleo, lo que sería la base, el núcleo del actor, del comportamiento de los personajes, ¿vale? Del comportamiento de los personajes en el Star Citizen, y que no trabajaban tanto en el aspecto de naves, sino simplemente en el... O sea, no trabajaban para nada en el aspecto de naves, que eso no es de ellos, sino que ellos trabajan precisamente en cómo se comportan los personajes.
And then joining us for I'm pretty sure this is your very first Star Citizen Live, Richard, right?
It is, yes.
It is, right. So, Richard, tell us who you are and what you do for Star Citizen.
Hey guys, so I'm Richard Tyra. I'm the lead FPS systems designer, and basically I do everything related to the character. So anything to do with weapons, actor gameplay, anything that Sean just described is under my umbrella.
So I imagine you've done
Vale,
a lot of work recently.
dice que él es el director del tema del FPS y que hace de todo lo que tenga que ver con la jugabilidad de los personajes, o sea, el actor, bueno, el actor gameplay, que se le llama, el cómo se comportan los personajes en el juego, o todo lo que tenga que ver con el FPS, que está bajo su sombrilla, ¿no? Bajo su paraguas.
On Star Marine, and that's why we're here today.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep, Star Marine, Arena Commander, electronic access as a whole, which is the whole part of this, and I want to make sure we're talking about electronic access as well, because ultimately electronic access is the umbrella term that houses Arena Commander and Star Marine, just as its own separate bit from Star Citizen or Squadron.
Let's talk a little bit about that before we get to the questions.
Sure.
If you had to describe Arena Commander and Star Marine to somebody, just like a mission statement, kind of an overall,
Sure.
What is Arena Commander and Star Marine?
Arena Commander.
Bueno, está diciendo que básicamente que van a hablar sobre el Star Marine y el Arena Commander y que hay un gran paraguas que se llama Electronic Access, que es lo que contienen los dos. Y simplemente pone que, o sea, dice, lo acaba de decir Discolando, que bueno, que trate de explicar a alguien que no conoce, ¿no? Que es el Arena Commander y el Star Marine, ¿no? Que explique qué es lo que es el Electronic Access.
It takes the core gameplay of Star Citizen, the core ship gameplay of Star Citizen, and puts it directly in front of you with no barriers. So that is Arena Commander for me. You select how you want to play. Again, if it's
Dice que pilla la tecnología base de Star Citizen, la tecnología núcleo de Star Citizen, y te la pone directamente delante tuya sin barreras. Eso es lo que es el Arena Commander para SIN, ¿no?
horde mode, if it's sort of like survival horde modes, if it's multiplayer swarm battles, squadron battles, something like this. So there's a lot of different ways to play that core combat, but really the mission statement is it is the core ship gameplay testing ground of Star Citizen.
Or at the very least we want it to be.
Exactly. And Star Marine is no different, except it has to do everything with the actors, everything with the characters, everything with the armor.
Que se está refiriendo a Arena Commander y está explicando que Arena Commander pues que es donde se pueden probar todo lo que tiene que ver con el combate. Es un terreno de pruebas para Star Citizen. Y bueno, de todo lo que tenga que ver con las naves, de cómo se comportan en combate y demás, que hay varios tipos modos de jugar, ya sabéis, ¿no? Que podéis jugar en Squadron Battle, podéis hacer Bundle Swarm, que es un modo de supervivencia, podéis hacer diferentes cosas, ¿no? Y el Star Marine, que es lo mismo, pero llevado al actor gameplay, o sea, sin naves, ¿no?
The FPS sort of gameplay side, so that is the petri dish of the core character gameplay for Star Citizen. So that's how I'd kind of put the two together, and then they are both simulations within the world, within the universe of Star Citizen. Excuse me. And they're basically games within our game. You access electronic access, sort of like somebody would access the Oasis, you know, in Ready Player One or something like this. The electronic access is ultimately that same.
Bueno, está comentando de que el Electronic Access al final pues es una simulación dentro de lo que es el universo de Star Citizen, que de hecho, si os acordáis, al principio de los tiempos pues había una silla en la que te podías sentar para jugar al Electronic Access, que estaba en el hangar y te conectabas, ¿no? Y se supone que te vas a poder conectar desde dentro del juego el Electronic Access, o esa parece la idea en un principio. Y dice que para Star Citizen el Electronic Access es como una especie de oasis, ¿vale? De oasis, porque no sé si conocéis la peli de Ready Player One, que bueno, que es una peli, pues eso, que hay un mundo virtual que se llama Oasis y que la gente se conecta a él, pero es ficticio, ¿no? Entonces dice que es como una especie de oasis para la gente. De juego en realidad virtual, dentro de lo que es Star Citizen.
second life inside of already a second life. So
Right.
it's a bit of a weird concept sometimes to get across, but I think generally the community understands it, and I think I want to do a little bit more.
Dice que es como una segunda vida dentro de una segunda vida dentro de lo que es Star Citizen. Y dice que la comunidad que cree que lo entiende y tal. Madre mía, cómo se está liando.
A little bit more to make that clear that is a thing.
A lot of what you were just saying about the mission statement, those are pretty reasonable goals, I think, for Arena Commander and Star Marine. Candidly, would you say that Arena Commander and Star Marine is there right now?
Is accomplishing those two things? I would say they are, but more from a development standpoint, less from a player standpoint. Meaning, you know, is it a perfect game right now? Heck no. You know, we're not definitely not. There's been new systems. There's new developments that have happened with ships. There's new scanning systems. There's so many new things that we're not quite taking all advantage of yet. There's ground vehicles, for example, and where's the ground vehicle in Arena Commander or Star Marine right now? You know, those kind of things. So there's new things that have come up that we're not taking advantage of right now, and I think we could be.
Yep, and that's
Bueno, está comentando de que si considera que, le preguntarán si considera que Star Marine es algo que está bien hecho, que está perfecto ahora, y dice que no, para nada, o sea, que no está ni acabado ni nada, que desde el punto de vista de desarrollo, pues eso vale para probar cosas y tal, pero que hay cantidad de mecánicas que no se están aprovechando, como por ejemplo los nuevos sistemas de escáneres o nuevas implementaciones que van metiendo al juego, incluso por ejemplo los vehículos de tierra, que simplemente en el Electronic Access no hay vehículos de tierra, y son cosas que se podrían incluir en el futuro. O sea, desde el punto de vista del nivel competitivo y todo eso, que no está ni para nada acabado, ni para nada es el juego que quieren tener, ¿no? En cuanto a Electronic Access se refiere.
It's a big part of why we have this kind of renewed focus on Arena Commander and Star Marine.
And we've had it for a little while. It's just in terms of the resource share around the company, right? We've got two other games that
two little games.
Just these other ones. You know, every time I go, well, you know, there's this crash in Arena Commander, and they're like, well, do you want Squadron 42 shipping? And I'm like, well, no, Arena Commander is much more important. So really, there's two games that actually have to take the resources long before Arena Commander, or let's just say Electronic Access, kind of gets them. And I'm not saying that means that nothing happens, but it does mean that a lot fewer people are assigned to it. And what we've really got to be intelligent about, anyways, on Electronic Access is things that we do within the PU or Squadron 42, trying to make the most use out of those things that happen there, to be able to apply them within Electronic Access. So a great example was some of the UI systems that have come online recently, and I'm sure we've talked about them on SC Live, like the building blocks technology and stuff like this. As that came online, it was like, great, we can apply all of that, fix the kill notifications, fix the score notifications, you know, actually rebalance all that kind of stuff within there, because again, the kill notifications have been broke for 2 releases or something to this effect. So yeah, trying to use things that are happening within the PU or Squadron 42 to benefit it is the best way to get work done. But recently we get...
Bueno, está comentando que bueno, que a la hora de poder darle prioridad para arreglarle errores a Arena Commander, que realmente pues que hay otros 2 juegos a mayores, bromeando, no lo dice, otros 2 pequeños juegos a mayores, que son el Star Citizen y el Escuadrón 42, que requieren toda la atención, que tienen toda la prioridad. Entonces, que pues a la hora de arreglar que hay muchísima menos gente, o sea, hay poquita gente, buenas Locobi, hay poquita gente encargada de lo que es el Arena Commander. Todos los esfuerzos están desviados en gran parte pues al Escuadrón 42, al PU. Y que si se desarrollan utilidades o mecánicas o cosas en lo que viene siendo el PU o el Escuadrón 42, ¿no? Pues que esas mecánicas sí se pueden intentar implementar o aprovechar para el Arena Commander. Y eso es lo que se trata de hacer, ¿no?
More and more resources to actually do some stuff with it. So I think we got a few quarters ago, we made some changes to team deathmatch as well as to deathmatch, and we even changed some of the maps around. So we're just going to continue doing stuff like this.
And I think, I was going to say, I think it's also a change in mindset, really, in terms of being able to utilize. Sean touched on it when he said testbed. Being able to utilize those two products in terms of Star Marine and Arena Commander, and actually utilize those for a testbed for the core gameplay. So when we've got new weapons, new armor is coming online, or anything to do with the core gameplay, the general locomotion, that's something that we can utilize Arena Commander and Star Marine and really hone down and focus and get really concentrated feedback. So I think that's something of a mindset that, especially since, like I said, the pillars are fairly new, and the combat pillar in itself, and that's something that we can really drive down and focus on.
So,
está comentando el compañero que además hay que tener en cuenta que gracias a lo específico que es Star Marine a la hora de o la Arena Commander, ¿no? A la hora de lo que juegan los jugadores, pues se pueden probar cuando sale un arma nueva, cuando salen armaduras nuevas, pues es el entorno ideal para probarlo y que obtienen una gran cantidad de feedback de ese tipo de escenarios, ¿no? Y ya está.
Always on our Friday shows. Very well said, by the way, Richard. Just as registering in my head. We take questions live from our chat. We take questions from two places. One in the Twitch chat, if you're watching on twitch.tv/StarCitizen. Also on Spectrum, where our bespoke communication platform is. Please preface your question with the word question in capital letters surrounded by brackets. It's going to help us pull it out from all the other chat. We also put up a thread earlier this week and started collecting questions throughout the week that people could vote on, see which ones they wanted to see addressed most. And right off the bat, we'll start with those right now. We've heard that there are new Pirate Swarm improvements coming with Alpha 3.7. Let's run those down real quick.
Awesome. Yeah, so some Pirate Swarm.
Bueno, han dicho que hay nuevas mejoras para el enjambre de piratas, el Pirate Swarm o Pirate Swarm, ¿vale? El Pirate Swarm, que hay nuevas mejoras veniendo para la 3.7, que explique un poquito de qué van, que es una pregunta que le han hecho ahí ahora mismo, una de las preguntas que le han hecho, ¿no? Sabéis que le podéis hacer preguntas a través de Spectrum o a través del directo, también se le pueden hacer preguntas y están contestando esas preguntas ahora mismo.
Swarm improvements coming already for Arena Commander, and actually just a rework of the waves. I'll run down basically the list of things that have happened. So first of all, we rebalanced the Is that going to be?
He's turning it off right now.
We've got some cooling happening, but I mean it's only 8:30 in the morning right now. Just so everybody's aware.
The lights are hot.
Right.
Pirates
might have been the Great Quake.
Yeah, it's the big one. Okay, so we rebalanced the difficulty curve over now 10 waves. So it used to be, I think, 15, was 12 for a time, but now it's 10. And we've rebalanced that difficulty curve not only with just the AI, but with your wingmen that are coming in and against certain ships. So you can complete this in a starter ship all the way up to kind of the biggest ship, and it should be a challenge through the whole thing. But it should be a ramp-up of challenge, and this is something that we're really, really trying to balance in now. And it's actually tricky because...
Está diciendo que lo que han cambiado... bienvenido al canal, Danesuke, gracias por el follow. Están cambiando lo que es la idea de cómo estaban las oleadas repartidas del Arena Commander, el Pirate Swarm. Que dice que bueno, que en una ocasión hubo un tiempo que fueron 12, luego 15 y ahora dice que lo han puesto en 10 y que han rebalanceado tanto el cómo se comporta tu wingman, es decir, la persona que te está apoyando. En caso de que vayas tú solo, pues te aparecen ahí NPCs que te ayudan. Y bueno, el comportamiento de dificultad a la hora de combatir contra ciertas naves también va a cambiar. Y bueno, pues tratando de balancear los niveles, rebalancear los niveles del 1 al 10 para pues, tener diferentes niveles de dificultad.
It's a balance of not just the actual loadouts of the ships, not just what ships are coming in, but how many and how good your wingmen are that we bring in during certain waves. So it's a bit of a juggling act really to get that balance correct. One of the other exciting things is we increased...
Dice que además no solo va a cambiar lo que son las oleadas, el número de oleadas que son 10, sino también el número de naves que entran por oleada y el comportamiento que tienen los wingman otra vez, nuevamente, dependiendo de la oleada en la que se esté.
The playable area. They're much bigger now. So again, the ships are moving a lot faster. People needed a lot more room to maneuver. And the other thing they needed was not to run into a wall. So there's really, like, I've not been to space, but in all the movies I've seen, there's not a lot of walls in space. I have seen a library in space, kind of, in a black hole.
There's a big metaphysical wall
There's
in
a big library, and you do see back through time or whatever, but no walls. So the idea was to make this boundary a soft boundary. It's a little more like other games where you'll go over the boundary, you know it's there, but it doesn't. You don't run into it like you've just run into a building or something like this. So that's a little bit better. And again, it just gives you a warning that you're outside of the range. Eventually, it'll kill you, but if you don't come back in. So again, it plays a little bit nicer. Now, I say we increase the play.
Claro, está comentando de que han ampliado lo que es... buenas, Héctor. Han ampliado lo que es el tema de la esfera, ¿no? El espacio donde jugamos en la Commander, porque decía que los jugadores necesitaban efectivamente más espacio. Además, parece ser que el muro ahora mismo... bueno, sabéis que ahora mismo si salís de los límites de la Arena Commander, pues que la nave se explota. Entonces lo que han hecho es que no tiene sentido hacer como si corrieses contra un edificio, pues no ha visto, como dice que no hay muchos muros en el espacio, ¿no? Que no es lógico. Entonces van a hacer algo como se hace en los juegos como Battlefield o cosas así, ¿no? Que tú si te sales, pues te cuenta como deserción y te mueres. Pues que tendrás un tiempo en el que estés fuera y si no vuelves en un tiempo determinado, pues sí te morirás. Pero tendrás ese tiempo para reaccionar.
Playable area in all the maps. Not actually true. It's only on one of the maps right now. So in Dying Star, that's the one that's a lot bigger. There's a reason for it, and it mostly has to do with the map itself and the assets that were within it. It was really easier to make Dying Star quite large. But on Broken Moon, we have, everybody knows that that's not an actual planet, right? Like, I mean, we haven't put a real planet, within it. Sorry, a real planet.
I didn't. You just ruined Christmas.
No, I mean like a digital planet, one of the actual PU planets within there. It's actually just this hemisphere that actually, if you carried it around, isn't actually circular. It just looks nice.
It was built before procedural planets.
It was built 2014. The first actual playable level, like not hangars were first, and then.
Bueno, está comentando de que en el mapa de Dying Star que sí que es fácil ampliarlo. Y por la cantidad de cosas que han metido en él, que lo han hecho bastante más grande el mapa, pero en el de Broken Moon, que bueno, que aparte de que incluso el planeta que hay allí, que no es un planeta real, y luego ha corregido diciendo, bueno, no es un planeta digital hecho, sino simplemente es una esfera, una especie de cascarón, un pegote ahí puesto, ¿no? Para simular, y dice que además fue uno de los primeros niveles creados. Pues acordaros de que en Star Citizen lo primero que se pudo hacer fue entrar en el hangar y después del hangar ir a la Arena Commander. Y después de la Arena Commander, fue por Olisar. Y después de por Olisar apareció el Star Marine. Y luego, pues, hasta los días de hoy, ¿no?
This level came in. So it's about one of the oldest levels we have. That one was a little more tricky. So we started scaling it up, basically. Lods are a problem, and then you can actually really notice that planet isn't really a planet. So we want to make some improvements to that map, too. We will increase the size, and the obvious thing is, okay, just put a planet in. And that's what Chris has been saying, so we'll probably go ahead and do that. So we will make those changes to Broken Moon as well, but I think the boundary changes are also with...
¡Qué buena pinta! La verdad es que tiene buena pinta, porque ha dicho bueno, super pelado. Bueno, ha dicho que en el de Broken Moon, que efectivamente a la hora de hacerlo más grande tenían problemas, porque claro, se vería el pegote, que no es un planeta, que es un cachote ahí mal puesto. Y dijeron como que, bueno, probablemente deberíamos de poner un planeta ahí. Y Chris Roberts dijo, pues go ahead, adelante, poner un planeta, claro que sí. Chris Roberts siempre, si hay que poner un planeta, 5. Entonces parece que van a poner un planeta en el escenario de Broken Moon, y lo harán en el futuro, ¿no? Y lo harán también más grande el mapa. La verdad es que tiene que estar bastante chulo el echar un Arena Commander en esas condiciones, ¿no? De que puedes bajar un planeta, catar la atmósfera, y eso le va a dar otra vidilla.
Within Broken Moon, so that's nice stuff.
So the boundary changes for Broken Moon don't just apply to Pirate Swarm; they apply to any other.
That's right. Any other mode
that
that's within there. So, and again, this had a lot to do with the ships moving around a lot quicker. Now, added more ammo in the missile drops. So that was a little bit of a frustrating thing, that the missile drops weren't giving you enough ammo. You would run out, instantly, and it's a rewarding and fun sort of thing. We didn't want to have Arena Commander feel like super restricted ammo, super restricted weapons. Like we want them to play. We want them to, not save.
Claro, está diciendo de que quieren hacer que ahora cuando recojamos misiles, bueno, sabéis que hay varios iconos en lo que es el Arena Commander. Cuando lo jugáis pues tenéis el de munición, estaba el de la herramienta, que era el de curarse, el azul que era el de combustible y el rojo que era el de los misiles, ¿no? Que son iconos de misiles. Y están comentando de que quieren que cuando recojamos que sea que haya más misiles, que sea mayor recompensa y además no quieren que juguemos a la Arena Commander en plan a guardar, ¿no? Quieren que gastemos, que juguemos, o sea, que haya munición.
Too many of their missiles, too many of the things like this, because it's not that type of game. It's a little more arcadey.
Claro, la Arena Commander es un espacio más arcade.
The other thing, a lot more ammo in the ballistic pickups. When you had the lower size weapons with just this high refire rate, you would run out of all your ammo. So that was another one. Speaking of the UI building blocks, we added objective sort of hints. Not even hints. It's real direct. Go do this. One of the big pieces of feedback that we'd get from Arena Commander, or just generally for the game, is that readability of what my actions that I need to take are a little bit hard. So we make it very obvious, and now that we've got building blocks, we can kind of do all this stuff. We added more ships across the waves and some different ships. Also,
me está diciendo como que la gente se estaba quejando de que no había como objetivos y tal en el Arena Commander, y que parece que van a incluir objetivos. Y que te va a decir, bueno, pues que tienes que hacer esto, ¿no? Tienes que hacer aquello. O sea, parece que te van a saltar objetivos a cumplir en el Arena Commander.
Repairs are available a lot sooner. This has to do with it being a little bit more challenging now, that the repairs need to be available a little bit sooner, otherwise it's kind of frustrating. I could run through the ships, but I think better that you guys play it. And then the biggest change actually is in the last wave, wave 10.
Además, ahora como hay más reto a la hora de hacer las oleadas, que las reparaciones saldrán, o sea, las llavecitas de reparar saldrán con más frecuencia también.
A bit of a delay. We're going to spawn 10 friendly Merlins, but there's a Hammerhead at the end. Now, a Hammerhead is a tough ship. It is not easy, and it's not meant to be easy. It's a boss. This is it's just this little boss fight, basically. But you've got a chance to take out that ship on your own. But after a short delay, you're going to get 10 Merlins on your side. And this is the thing that a lot of people, they'll spend a little bit of time with the Hammerhead, and they're like, okay, I give up. The shields are too strong. There's not much I can do. But we wanted to give you a little bit of that sense of, not sure you're going to make this one, and then bring in those Merlins. So it's pretty exciting at the end. It's a nice climactic end because, again, I found the waves before.
Vale, dice que en la última oleada lo que va a suceder es que va a haber un boss que sea una Hammerhead, que va a venir acompañada de 10 Merlins. Y que bueno, de que al principio habrá como una especie de retardo. Y estarás ahí, o sea, saldrán los Merlins, luego habrá una especie de retardo. Y que bueno, que básicamente que es un boss que es jodido y que va a haber 10 Merlins que te ayuden con el paso del tiempo y para tratar de matar al boss. Que será como una especie de provocar la sensación de que cuando llegue el boss, cuando llegue la Hammerhead, que te dé la sensación de que estás jodido y que igual no eres capaz de conseguirlo, ¿no?
So they were fine. It just was pretty flat in terms of an excitement kind of curve. So at the end of it, we get a good, climactic event, and you take out this Hammerhead. So generally, that's pretty much the improvements just for 3.7. And again, this was just a small set of people. So
the old 10 Merlin trick.
Yeah. Yeah, we think it's a lot more fun than even just bringing in one or two of the stronger ships. It's a little fun, especially with the Hammerhead, to see a lot of them little ships going on because when the Hammerheads are going, you got the turrets going, you got everything. It's pretty exciting. So, and we wanted to make it a little more exciting, but we got to wait for another release to do it. Give a little final cinematic at the end too.
Richard.
Dice que de momento que quieren hacerlo un poco más interesante, que dice que, bueno, ha dicho Discolando el viejo truco de las Merlin y tal. Bromeando, ¿no? Pero se refiere a que bueno, de que la última oleada pues vendrá con las 10 Merlin engañando y luego pues en un retardillo vendrá la Hammerhead. Además ha dicho que quieren hacerlo que no estaban contentos con la curva de lo que era el pasar de la primera oleada a las últimas y que querían darle pues ese toque, ¿no? Más de... Y aparte de que en siguientes parches pues le meterán una cinemática también para aumentar ahí la sensación de que has llegado ahí a la última oleada y demás.
What are the plans for
Hello.
What are the plans for FPS scanning? Will it be similar to ships, like picking up IR, EM, CS, stuff like that? And what kind of equipment will we have to do this?
So FPS scanning will be similar to ships. It will have a unique nuance in the fact that
Dice que está preguntando qué seremos capaces de escanear y qué tipo de equipamiento necesitaremos para poder escanear. Y además está diciendo de que el FPS scanning, el escaneo en primera persona, que es similar al de las naves, ¿no?
FPS scanning and what I call FPS radar in terms of its ping system will actually be less passive. So it'll be something that you actively use rather than it being on all the time. So I think the passive version will actually only search for audio, so for decibels. So you can hear people in the distance, or if you hear a gunshot from an FPS point of view, then it'll obviously appear on your radar. But if you actually actively ping, that will then track the other emissions. So you'll get EM and IR, and then eventually later down the line, as we start to work.
Vale, está diciendo de que va a haber dos tipos bueno, va a haber dos estados de radar, ¿no? Lo que es el radar pasivo. El radar pasivo, pues simplemente escucharás o sea, detectarás el sonido. Ok, estarás detectando el sonido, verás el sonido. Y luego habrá otro radar que, bueno, cuando lo actives sí que ya detectarás tanto el calor como las señales electromagnéticas.
Work towards armor gameplay, then that's when armor will start to give off those emissions and things like that, and then you can bring in, different components in terms of different levels of FPS radar, in terms of FPS scanning. And obviously FPS scanning will have similar functionality. You'll be able to select or highlight over a target, and then that will give you more information on that target, loadout, and so on and so forth. So the plans are that we want the FPS and the ships to feel like the similar experience. We don't want you to get out the ship and it's a totally different experience than when you're in the ship. So we want to have that kind of holistic approach, that approach where you feel like everything's connected, that all of these disparate systems are playing together for one, unique experience. So that's kind of the overall idea for FPS radar and scanning, but...
Claro, está comentando de que lo que quieren conseguir es que tú cuando estés en tu nave y cuando realmente te bajes de la nave, que no tengas la sensación de que estás jugando a otro juego distinto, ¿no? Entonces quieren como darte la sensación de que hay un componente en común, tanto en FPS como en la nave, en cuanto al escáner. Entonces quieren que seas, pues eso, capaces de escanear, de mandar pulsos, como haces en la nave y demás. Y en cuanto a lo que te puedes equipar y los diferentes tipos de radares y de escaneos que habrá, pues con las diferentes armaduras que se incorporen al juego, pues se podrán poner diferentes habilidades al escaneo, ¿no? Y también comentaba el hecho de que podrás como fijar un objetivo en primera persona, estamos hablando en primera persona, pero fijar un objetivo y podrás de esta manera también obtener más información sobre él si te le quedas mirando, ¿no? Imagino como hacemos con la nave, básicamente.
That's something that we'll be working on absolutely in the future.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify. I should clarify in the question. That's not something that's coming online with Alpha 3.7. That question is more a design philosophy going forward as far as FPS.
Absolutely.
Claro, está diciendo además que este sistema no va a ser algo que vaya a salir en la 3.7, sino que es algo que está planeado para el desarrollo a largo plazo. ¿Okay?
Absolutely. So that's something that we've got on our minds. It's something that we're working towards. And as you know, in terms of the roadmap and so on and so forth, we've got lots to work on. But in terms of general idea and philosophy, that's the principle.
Sure, and Rich went over just exhaustively anyways, even in the last quarter. And it's something that we're doing now on the combat pillar almost specifically. But we really try to get out in front of the designs for the implementation. So like we've got a great idea of what we're doing on the combat pillar all the way actually till the middle of next year at this point, and actually even the next quarter, quarter three. So like Rich is real good at this. He's already seeing something coming in the quarter forward from that, so he's already getting the design all worked out. And by worked out, I mean pretty exhaustive. By the time we get to it, it's like we know exactly what we're doing at the moment that we do. And that's why in the last couple months, anyways, we've been able to get some pretty huge features out from the actor team, like the personal commodity inventory, the animation. Actually, no, we haven't done that one yet. That one's coming in 3.8. That's going to be a nice one, though. Everybody's going to like that.
O sea, está comentando de que Richard que tiene, pues que el tipo es el puto amo, básicamente. Está diciendo de que tiene la capacidad de ver un poquito más allá cuando están haciendo los parches, ¿no? Y como de visión de camino, ¿no? De lo que se va a hacer. Y de hecho que gracias a eso pues han avanzado lo que han avanzado en cuanto al tema del inventario personal y demás, y que cuando están haciendo algo, cuando se ponen a trabajar algo, que realmente saben lo que están haciendo, ¿no? Porque ya van como un paso más por delante a la hora de la planificación.
Animation speed ups for some stuff. Yeah, anyways, just wanted to give a shout out.
I mean,
Rich for doing
fundamentally,
designs
it's
ahead of
about
time.
making sure that all of the designs that, we're making a big game, that all of those designs tie in together. And, if you design something today, but you don't take into account what's coming in the future, then all of a sudden when you design that future system, you have to look back and go, actually, we need to change this. And then you get a scenario where you're having to change.
Claro, efectivamente está diciendo de que si tú simplemente miras el para hoy y empiezas a diseñar algo para hoy, cuando empieces a avanzar en el futuro y no tengas en cuenta pues lo que vendrá, pues cuando hagas cosas nuevas tendrás probablemente que retocar las cosas antiguas. Y entonces que todo en el juego tiene que estar como atado entre sí, ¿no? Tiene que estar entrelazado.
A lot of things. Now, obviously that's not always possible, but I think it's always a good philosophy to try and take into account everything that's going to come in, so that you can go, okay, how is this going to impact this? How is actor status going to impact, the health system, or how is stamina going to play into the different locomotions? So I think that's kind of the overall general principle and philosophy that we're trying to aim for, to make sure that, when it all comes in.
Claro, está diciendo de que es la filosofía principal que tratan de usar es la de pensar de cara al futuro, de cómo las cosas que van haciendo ahora pueden impactar en diferentes cosas que vayan haciendo, ¿no? En el futuro, que ya estén hechas. Por ejemplo, cómo va a impactar el tema de que haya estamina, ¿no? De que haya cansancio a la hora de las locomociones, o cómo va a afectar la vida en otras movidas, ¿no? El estado de la vida y tal. Y que dice que no siempre se puede hacer, no siempre se puede aplicar esa forma de pensar, pero tratan de aplicarlo todo lo que pueden, ¿no? Siempre mirar del futuro para pues eso. Para que si hacen alguna cosa, tratar de minimizar los impactos que pueda tener, ¿no? en otras cosas.
It creates something that we actually want.
All right, so the number one question that was voted on in the thread throughout the week is AI bots in Star Marine.
1 million. Remember? You don't remember?
Oh,
I do remember. I do.
Different locomotion. So I think that's kind of the overall general principle and philosophy that we're trying to aim for, to make sure that, when it all comes in, it creates something that we actually want.
All right, so the number one question that was voted on in the thread throughout the week is AI bots in Star Marine.
1 million. Remember? You don't remember?
No, I do remember. I do remember. There's a wonderful meme of me just sinking into my chair, like,
yeah, 1 million.
What are the plans for bots in Star Marine? PV.
Vale, si va a haber bots en Star Marine, ¿y cuáles son los planes para los bots en Star Marine?
PvE modes. People don't always like to play against other people. Sometimes they like to get together with their friends and just practice against bots.
Yep. Yeah, we want to do the same thing. And actually, really interestingly, the internal AI teams, they kind of want the same thing. So this one takes a little bit of markup on the maps. We've got to get a wave spawner in. We've got some basics to this where we can pre-place the characters. But what we want to do is have a little more, I hate to say it, but a systemic setup where it's much more procedural. And by procedural, it's more just generated, right? I want to put a spawner in. I want to say what kind of guy I want, whether I want a male, female, whether it's a rich guy, poor guy, whether he's got lots of guns, whether he's got a few guns, whether he's got good abilities or not, and the designer.
Que dice que hay que tener como que para poder hacer esto, que es algo que también los desarrolladores internos de inteligencia artificial también quieren. que haya esto, ¿no? Que puedas ir con tus colegas y pues, hacer un cooperativo contra la máquina. Y bueno, pues que ellos, como desarrolladores, también quieren hacer eso. No solo los jugadores. Y que para hacer eso tienen que llegar a un punto en que tengan algo como más procedural, de poder generar esos bots de una forma más procedural, en plan diciendo, pues bueno, pues este tipo tiene mucho dinero, o sea, es pobre, es rico, tiene más armas, tiene menos armas. Tratar de definir una serie de características, ¿no? Pues que al final acabarán degenerando un bot con ese perfil.
To be able to set all this kind of stuff and it ramp up over time. But actually, the whole existence of the Good Doctor map has a lot to do with wanting to do a swarm mode. So this was something that came down from Chris and Aaron, that they wanted that within Star Marine, absolutely. And it's such an obvious thing because to a degree, and not even to a degree, we are actually doing that within Arena Command. We got 2 different survival modes already, and we don't have a single one within Star Marine, and a lot of that just comes down to the actual development of that given AI. Now, I don't want to go super into detail because that's another pillar, another director, another set of people that are working on that. But of course, Squadron AI has to be the top priority, and then PU next, and then everything within here. So just like I said at the start, as they progress on the Squadron AI, as they progress on the PU AI, we will take advantage of that kind of stuff.
Claro, está diciendo además que el mapa del buen doctor, del mapa de Good Doctor, que se presta para hacer eso, y además que parece la opción obvia, ¿no? Que si hay el Pirate Swarm, o sea, el Pirate Swarm y el Bundle Swarm, ¿no? Que hay dos modalidades de ese estilo en el Commander, que es obvio que también las tiene que haber en el Star Marine. Y que en cuanto a la inteligencia artificial que se está desarrollando para el Squadron 42 y también para el PU vayan progresando, primero en el Squadron 42 y luego en el PU, pues luego se aprovecharán de esos avances y los traerán para el Star Marine, claro.
Right now, the best spot in the PU is this underground facility with this stuff. So for me, it wasn't yet enough to be able to make a really reasonable sort of swarm survival horde Star Marine mode. But very soon we will be there. And again, the Good Doctor map was actually built and incepted to do specifically that. Now, we didn't want to just hold on to that map.
Que además, vuelvo a repetir que hicieron el tema de los bunkers y demás, y el tema de los bunkers que no veía que fuese suficiente lo que hacían los NPCs y tal y todo eso. Entonces todavía no estaba preparado para realizar el tema de las oleadas, y además ha repetido otra vez que en el Good Doctor precisamente ha sido un mapa hecho específicamente para realizar esa tarea, ¿no? Para poner oleadas de bichos y demás. Oleadas de gente, ¿no? NPCs.
And wait until the AI was.
And wait until the AI was done. We had it, and making a deathmatch map is not too dramatically difficult in terms of sightlines and things like this. So we figured, why not release the map while we wait for the AI to kind of be in a state that we want to do that with.
And by releasing the map earlier, players get to beat on it a bit. Show us some of the shortcomings of it, and we can iterate.
Yeah.
Necessary.
It's bad to say it this way, but yeah, we get some free QA is kind of the thing. But it's good. It's a good deal, right? Because you guys get some new content, we get some new feedback. Everybody wins.
That's how it's supposed to work.
Everybody wins.
Richard,
and also when we do actually, obviously work towards the PvE side of things, one thing that we will get is that we'll get a different set of feedback. So when it's PvP, when it's player against player, and when we have that more focused experience, in the Good Doctor or any other map that we eventually add AI to, I think that will give us some really good feedback, and it will be different compared to the PvP feedback. It potentially different player base in terms of people really focus on the PvE side or the PvP side. So I think from a holistic point of view of getting all of that information, that would be something that would be really good going forward and allow us to get that feedback to actually balance it for Squadron and for the PU.
Oh, now I understand.
Además está diciendo algo bastante obvio, ¿no? Que es el tema de que ese tipo de forma de jugar en rollo PvE pues le dará otro tipo de feedback diferente al del PvP, ¿no? La gente que juega PvP, y que además incluso puede que hasta sea otro tipo de público distinto, y que eso pues que también ayudará pues a eso, que es otro público distinto, además que sea un feedback enfocado más en el PvE que en el PvP. Y Y también que le servirá de ayuda pues para testear, ¿no? Como base de pruebas para el Escuadrón 42, para el PU.
You've got some images from the Good Doctor map. Since we brought it up now, let's go ahead and take a look.
Yes.
We've seen one image so far. We don't have video today, but we do have some screenshots that we can take us through. Maybe tell us what it is that we're looking at here.
Is that coming through?
That is
Yep.
coming through.
Cool. So this is actually the. It's on a slideshow. 1 second. I think it's. Is that still coming through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is actually, you can actually just see outside here. So this is the internal reception area for the Good Doctor map. So it's actually one of the first maps that we have that's actually embedded on a real planet. So as we were talking before, this is actually a real planet that this is actually embedded on. And this is the internal, kind of the main atrium area that provides the access from to outside to the interior and to the habitation on the other side, and then to the science labs on this side. So if I actually go through, so here you can see this is actually the science labs, and you can see it's a different feel. Right here,
Bueno,
so
aquí
this
está.
is the internal.
Básicamente está diciendo que por aquí se entra, evidentemente, por aquí se accede a la zona de habitáculos, a las habitaciones, y por eso de vivienda, ¿no? Y aquí a los laboratorios, por este los laboratorios. Y ahora nos está enseñando pues laboratorios.
Reception area for the Good Doctor map. So it's actually one of the first maps that we have that's actually embedded on a real planet. So as we were talking before, this
Claro, que
is
además
actually
que es
a
un
real-
mapa que
a
está,
real planet
es un mapa que está en un planeta real, está puesto en un planeta.
that this is actually embedded on, and this is the internal, kind of the main atrium area that provides the access from to outside to the interior and to the habitation on the other side, and then to the science labs on this side. So if I actually go through, so here you can see this is actually the science labs, and you can see it's a different feel, and that's something that we really wanted to have a difference compared to the other maps that are already released, is that this map we wanted it to feel fairly light and bright. So you can see in the atrium it's got that exterior lighting, and here it's fairly bright and it fits in with this science, but you also get the
Que está diciendo que este mapa, a diferencia de los otros dos, quería que se sintiese brillante, iluminado, ¿no? Luminoso.
these unique areas of the map. So in obviously some other maps where it's quite dark, you can't really tell where you are. It's very clear in terms of, okay, this gives you a really good read on the areas that you are, and then this is more the habitation side of things. So the habitation, obviously, it's been more dressed up, it's more warmer colors, whereas the science labs part of it's more colder colors. And this
Claro, dice que además la zona de vivienda le han puesto colores más cálidos con respecto a la zona de laboratorio que tiene colores más fríos.
we really spent a lot of time on the FPS side to make sure we got good line of sights, good areas, and also, if actually just switch back to here, one of the big things that we wanted to do was push some of the line of sights, so that you weren't just going around a corner and it was a quick, shoot off, that we had some more medium to longer range gameplay. So as we keep going, see this is more of a top-down view of that initial atrium area. And then if I keep going, so this is now outside. So we've got the outside.
Claro, aquí está enseñando lo de furia. Aparte estaba comentando de que en este mapa se tiende más al rango medio largo a la hora de combatir.
Area is fairly fleshed out. You can't actually jump off as much as you probably will want to onto the planet, so it's still a kind of focused experience in terms of this map, but it just provides a bit of difference that you can go interior and exterior and get a bit of a sense of more representative gameplay that would be on the PU rather than just a specific gameplay mode. Here we've got another exterior.
Está diciendo que veremos el planeta, pero no podemos saltar a él por mucho que queramos, ¿no? Pero bueno, que al poder salir así al exterior y tal, que nos brindará una experiencia mucho más cercana a lo que es la experiencia de juego en el PU, más allá de lo que de otros modos distintos de juego, ¿no?
You're the interior looking outside. And then some more of the habitation areas. But I really like the art on this. Actually, you can see some of if we touch on the lore, some of how the Good Doctor came to be and how it fits into the lore of Star Citizen.
Yeah, you're doing such a good job. Do you want to talk about some of the lore?
That's absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely,
I want to
sharing. This is one of the more interesting changes to Star Marine that I think is that we're starting to build, I guess, scenarios or situations that are reflective of moments in our lore.
Well, yeah, it's one of the things when, you know, I took some of this combat pillar stuff over, and we were talking about the Arena Commander electronic access games. Overall, the thing that always surprised me was the amount of lore, even working here, that we have. I mean, the stories are just, there's so many, and so many interesting ones. And I felt like, okay, some of them are not big enough to tell in a, you know, a grand Squadron 42 game, or not even big enough maybe to tell in missions or something. But maybe the scenario is something that we can tell within Star Marine or Arena Commander. Why don't we make this less about a game where it's like, okay, log in, get your ship, kill 10 waves, see ya. You know, it's just not as compelling when we have as much lore that we have. So I really, really want to be telling kind of scenario-based stories. And what this makes is something that's a little more, you can set it up to be like an objective-based game mode where it's actually telling stories from the lore. And wouldn't this be what the electronic access thing would be? Because again, we talked about the concept of, you know.
Está diciendo que simplemente, bueno, Discorando le he preguntado acerca de la relación que hay con el Electronic Access y el lore, ¿no? Está diciendo que simplemente, sí, efectivamente, simplemente podríamos hacer un juego que fuese llegar, mata-mata y te piras, pero teniendo el recurso, el gran recurso de esa gran cantidad de lore que hay en Star Citizen, pues que a mayores que cuando hacen el Electronic Access, cuando hacen este tipo de cosas, en el caso de Star Marine, ¿no? Que quieren meter algo, o sea, que es interesante también que aparte de que sea una partida, un simulacro, ¿no? Y todo eso, pues que te pueda contar una historia del lore, y por qué no, esa oportunidad.
The oasis within Star Citizen, right? So electronic access is this oasis. Now, what would those people do with it within Star Citizen? So you're a person, you live in the verse. You know, what do you do for fun? Well, it's the same way that we, you know, I'm sorry, I'm not American.
In an
so
art
the
piece,
Gettysburg, you know, what do they call those?
Reenactments.
Reenactments, thanks. You know, things like reenactments, or we go to the medieval fair, or we go watch knights beat the crap out of each other with wooden swords. You know, things like, well, some people see steel swords, or what is that? The Renaissance fair, right?
Renaissance fair.
And I talk about it like I've gone to all of these things like so many times, but not quite yet. So basically, being able to retell those certain scenarios from within the Star Citizen lore, whether it was 100 years ago in terms of the PU time to the actual time that they were telling about. Because, for example, the Good Doctor is 100 years before the time of the PU. It's a whole thing that happened before. But I think telling that...
Claro, está diciendo que en lo que pasa en The Good Doctor, que es 100 años antes de lo que está pasando en el P1. Dice que además que, pues, lo que hay que entender es eso, que el Electronic Access es como una especie de simulación dentro de lo que es la vida real en Star Citizen. Y que bueno, que nosotros en la vida real pues podemos ir a una feria medieval, o podemos ir a ver una peli, yo qué sé, mil movidas, ¿no? Y entonces, aquí tengo que deciros que yo pienso, y hace tiempo que lo llevo diciendo, y creo que es muy probable que a través de Electronic Access quizás lleguemos a ver, pues poder revivir las guerras Tevarin y todas esas barbaridades del lore, ¿no? que nos cuentan. Pues o sea, las dos guerras Tevarin que hay, quizás revivir también alguna masacre en algún planeta, alguna terraformación, que esas cosas se puedan vivir, ¿no? Pero bueno, de momento eso es muy para futuro.
Story within the objectives of the map is just so much more compelling than jumping into a deathmatch map and it feeling like, you know, Quake or Doom just from, you know, just for the sake of having a deathmatch map. I want to tell some scenarios, want to tell some of the stories because I think they're quite interesting.
Now that's...
And to be honest,
claro, que dice que no quiere que sea como una especie de Quake o Doom, ¿no? Que quiere que además que quiere que cuenten historias, ¿no? Que por eso te metes a un deathmatch y ya está, ¿no? Quieren que además pues aprovechar que cuenten alguna historia.
I think it also helps with us that we're tying Star Marine and eventually Arena Commander to the PU, that it is, you know, it is a connected experience. It is, like we said, about electronic access. It's this game within a game, and it, you know, we want to make them feel like they're connected, and it's not just this, like you said, you load up and it's a 10 wave deathmatch, and it just feels like it's just a different scenario, but it is actually a connected, it's part of the PU, and that's something that we want to get that feeling across, that it is an extension of the PU.
Yeah,
Que además de que quiere como incluir el Electronic Access, quieren incluirlo dentro del PU, y es una extensión del PU, o sea, quieren que todo esté conectado. Entonces quieren tratar de transmitir esa sensación lo máximo posible. A lo que me recuerda la demanda de Crytek, de que dice que solo podían programar un juego y no dos. Bueno, eso es otra historia diferente, ¿no? Pero igual tiene algo que ver en esta forma de pensar, no lo sé.
It's now this is of course stuff that we're working.
Pero es conveniente
towards.
igualmente,
As far
claro.
as what they're going to see in 3.7 is this map brought forward on its own to serve as a deathmatch map.
And then to give you a great example, like we hope to put it in a patch, but we're grabbing some new audio that is going to, again, support the lore and the story behind the Good Doctor within, again, whether it's 3.7.1 or 3.7.2. We'll have some of the voiceovers to update. And then as we progress on the sort of swarm mode or AI or anything like that, that's when we'll really be able to tell that story right. I know, I'm sure people are thinking, oh my God, they're going to put zombies. And no, we won't put zombies. But the story of the Good Doctor has a lot to do with the cultists. So Dr. Fael was basically a very, very a charming and great leader, anyways, a good inspirer. And a lot of the screens that you see within the Good Doctor are quotes from him, or they're things that the basically the outsiders is how they're actually termed, quote themselves on anyway. So I think it'll be an interesting thing to be able to do that.
Vale, están comentando de que han implementado un nuevo sonido para el tema del mapa de Good Doctor, para apoyar la historia esa que hay, ¿no? Y que además que hay un personaje que es el Doctor. Yo la verdad esto no sé nada, no he visto nada, pero parece ser que hay un personaje que es el Buen Doctor y que dice la gente, bueno, dice que la gente puede pensar, oh, Dios mío, van a meter zombies en el mapa, ¿no? Debe ser que tiene relación con la historia, lo que está comentando. Pero que no van a meter zombies, pero sí que va a haber cultistas. Cultistas, eso de tipo secta, tal. Bueno, puede ser interesante.
One of the questions from the chat asks, why don't we just use FPS ships or ships as FPS maps? Like, why don't we just stick a Starfarer in there and let people run around a Starfarer? Stick a Hammerhead in there and let people run around as a Hammerhead as an FPS map. Seems like it would be a super easy way to make FPS maps.
It would be a super easy way to make an FPS map, but you wouldn't have made an FPS map. That's the problem. So it seems, because I thought the same thing. It's like, okay, cool. We've got all these ship interiors. Oh my goodness, we've got the Starfarer, you've got the Caterpillar. These things are whole levels in themselves. Why don't we just grab the interiors of those and fight in them? Well, the problem is they've not really been designed to do FPS combat, like and to do FPS combat.
Deathmatch and
deathmatch like or team deathmatch, or balanced in such a way that.
Claro, está comentando. ¿Por qué no se utilizan? No se pregunta por qué no utilizar las naves, ¿no? Para hacer más mapas FPS. Tenemos pues una Hammerhead o una Starfarer, ¿no? ¿Por qué no utilizar eso? Y dice Sin que precisamente porque no son mapas o no están diseñados como mapas de FPS. Entonces pues hay un problema de desbalanceo a la hora de aparecer en un deathmatch o cosas así, ¿no?
It would be fun to play. I think you can do that, like, and actually, we see these on live streams and stuff like this where people do have fun doing it.
Yes, they do.
But I mean, there's only one hallway to get through a thing, for example, right? Most of our players don't shoot like stormtroopers. They're actually pretty good. So you ain't going to be getting through that door. It's things like that. It's just not going to be as fun as it is because those ship interiors weren't necessarily designed with, hey, Team A is here and Team B is here and these are attackers, these are defenders, this is a sight line, this is a sight line. They were designed with, interior of a ship design in mind for obvious reasons, right?
The operation of the ship and the PU, not
exactly,
deathmatch.
Exactly. So I would say that a cooler thing would be modes like, trying to board or do something like that where you've got to disable ships. And again, if we could tell a scenario where it's disable the ship, board the ship, go through the ship, whether it's fighting AI within the ship or fighting other players, I think that's a more interesting thing than just dropping the interior of a ship on and then fighting.
Right. So
Claro, está comentando de que aparte de que en Star Citizen hay bastantes buenos jugadores y que claro, que no se comportarían como un Star Trooper a la hora de disparar y que buena espino. Y que a la hora de disparar pues que pues habría gente que no te dejaría ni salir por la puerta, ¿no? Entonces que no tiene sentido hacer ese tipo de mapas así para, o sea, convertir una nave en un mapa y ya está. Lo que sí que tendría sentido es, por ejemplo, pensar en la forma de modos de asalto de nave, defensa de nave, ese tipo de cosas, ¿no? Atravesar la nave y tal. Pues eso sí que podría realizarse en un futuro.
So instead of using something like a Caterpillar or a Hammerhead or an 890 jump for deathmatch,
Right.
You're talking about considering something like an entirely new game mode specifically to practice breaching, specifically to practice flying through, getting through the ship and taking over.
And maybe get away from game mode and think scenario, right? We would set up a scenario that would just make sense for that. And again, there's so many stories, I'm telling you, in the lore. Like I open up Confluence, lucky for me, I can get access to all the Dave stuff where it's like, there's so much in there that is that, like, you could come up with so many things just from those stories that are within there. Again, I think that would be that's the way to go rather than game mode.
Right.
Scenario.
And telling when you see the.
Claro, además está recalcando que dice Landon, entonces podrías hacer un nuevo modo de juego en plan pues que se dedicase a eso, ¿no? A salto de naves y tal. Y Sin le dice que no, que más que un game mode, que utilizar el lore y hacer un escenario, ¿no? Una escena que tenga que ver con el lore, porque además dice que él pues que tiene acceso a cantidad de historias del lore, ¿no? Que puede revisar las que quiera y que hay cantidad de cosas que son útiles para poder hacer esos escenarios, ¿no?
These things on stream, that's how they're setting it up too. They're creating they're creating their own scenario.
Because it's way more fun. Because it's way more fun, and it's a little more meaningful too. And actually, it's a little more it's fun to watch too.
Yeah. So not as just a blank check deathmatch or team deathmatch, but a specifically crafted scenario.
I mean, it's incredibly uninspired if you think about it, right? I mean, deathmatch, right? I mean, of course.
Richard, let's take another look into the future here. Medical mechanics are a large missing part of general FPS gameplay that would greatly affect balancing decisions and stuff like that. What can you tell us about our plans for medical gameplay?
So medical gameplay is something, again, that we wanted to take into account for lots of different things. So we've been looking at it early on. It's something that will be coming in the future. So, if you play Battlefield or any other online shooter or game like that, you've got the defibrillators and you can actually go and help your teammate up. So, in terms of a team match or these scenarios that we're discussing, the ability to actually revive your teammate and bring him back from the depths rather than having to respawn at a particular area. Obviously, that would change the dynamic. So it's absolutely something that we're looking at. Obviously, within our game, we'll actually have a more detailed analysis.
Okay. Le acaban de preguntar sobre las mecánicas de curación y se acaba de referir a Battlefield cuando teníamos que utilizar el desfibrilador. Eso teníamos que hacer en Battlefield 4. Teníamos que ir con el desfibrilador de ahí. Y le podíamos levantar a otro compañero y puedes levantar a tu compañero en vez de que tenga que responder en alguna zona y tal. O sea, entonces están mirando para ese tipo de gameplay. Vamos a ver qué nos cuenta.
Going forward in terms of you being able to heal others, heal yourself, and we actually do want to actually move the med pens so that you're actually carrying them in your hand, so that rather than just an automatic use, that it is something that you can equip and then target and things like that. So obviously we're thinking about it. We're in the very early stages of coming up with the design, so and to making sure how that fits into the PU, into Squadron, into Star Marine. So it's absolutely something that's on the agenda.
Dice que además está comentando de que tienen que desarrollar para que el medpen se pueda agarrar en la mano. Y al agarrar en la mano, pues que sea un objeto para poder pinchárselo a otro compañero y demás. Y dice que es algo que están mirando en ello, están pensando en ello y que está absolutamente incluido en la agenda. Bueno, pues.
I don't have anything to add to that. That's it. The next question is a very common one. It comes up quite a bit. Multiplayer lobby support in Arena Commander. The ability for players to all load into the same Hammerhead or to all load into the same 890 jump if that's what you want to fight in or whatever. What can you tell us about any plans, any intentions?
Yeah, we've actually worked on a design for this already with the internal game team that we've got there. Again, it's not a ton of people by any stretch, so we can only work on stuff slowly. And it's the same even for myself. Again, I've got this combat pillar here, but I've also got 3 other departments that I run at the same time. So again, there's a amount of work that goes into it. So we do a lot of the design work anyway. So design's already been done for that given, let's call it a lobby anyways, but it's really a change to the lobby matchmaking and friend group kind of support, but outside of the PU, like at the launcher kind of level or at the main menu kind of level. So yeah, we've already done that, and that is so important to be able to do, because right now, for example, if me and Rich wanted to go play in a Super Hornet and we want to do Vandal Swarm, Pirate Swarm, whatever, to make that happen is kind of a pain, because we both have to join, right? We've got to get to the same thing. He's going to go bail out of whatever ship he got. He's got to go get into my ship, and then we can progress. And then if we die or something, we've got to do it all over again or whatever. So I think that's pretty silly. We need to be able to group up long before we're in the map, and then choose that map as a group, and whether there's a group leader or something like that. So we've got that design actually in place, and it's a lot, you know, you could call it a fleet manager, you could call it however you want to do it, but it's really important that we're able to...
Vale, están hablando de lo que viene siendo el poder meterte con compañeros a jugar al Star Marine o al Arena Commander, bueno, perdón, al Arena Commander. Meterte en una nave, ¿no? En una misma nave, de poder aparecer todos en una Hammerhead o todos en tal. Todo está comentando de que ahora mismo es algo bastante complicado de hacer, que lo están intentando, pero, o sea, que ellos que han encontrado la manera de hacerlo, me parece, internamente, pero que no es algo que sea, evidentemente, que podamos hacer nosotros los demás. No, entonces, el tema está en que hay una cosa que están diciendo que le llaman Fleet Map, que es pues el mapa de la flota, parece ser. Y bueno, pues la idea al final es, ya habían hablado, ¿no? De que al final, ¿por qué no poder meterte, es decir, con una Hurricane, ¿no? Y que tengas un colega que es el piloto y tu artillero, o al revés, ¿no?
To not only say what friends are in your group, what they're doing, what you're about to go do, but also be able to place those guys within seats within the ship, because, you know, just getting them spawning, standing in the cargo bay.
Que además dice que a la hora o sea, el fleet map pues que te tiene que decir cuántas personas se van a unir, cuáles son los asientos disponibles, ¿no? Dónde se va a sentar esa gente.
It's not that useful. It's better than what we've got.
Yeah, especially when the wave's about to start.
Exactly, but sometimes you don't even have that. So again, like on a Super Hornet, if I wanted Rich to be gunning and I wanted to be piloting, I want to be able to set that up and then join the game, right? Yes, so yeah, we've got the design for it. So the technical things that are in front of that have everything to do with the matchmaking services. So you'll be happy to know, though, that we just completed the whole changeover and the refactor of this. So we are not thinking about a refactor, we've just completed it. So that's all done. And that needed to happen in the last 3 to 6 months or so. And it had to happen for PU for other reasons anyways, VoIP and all these things. So now that that's done, we can actually pull that out and we can change the matchmaking that was set up again with that first map Broken Moon, you know, years ago, 5 years ago. So we can upend that, we can get our group system at the front end a lot more robust and a little bit easier to use. And this way we can shunt them, you know, into a ship together or whatever. The other nice little benefit that's going to come, and I don't know if it'll hit 3.8 or 3.9, but it'll be right between the two of them, is it'll allow us to do our round cycling. So one of the things that really annoys me with Star Marine...
Bueno, básicamente está diciendo de que hay unas historias en el PU que han utilizado y que les sirven por otras razones, ¿no? Pero que les sirvieron para poder hacer eso y que pues que no vendrá ahora sino en 3-4 meses, o sea que faltará para que eso pueda suceder. Y lo que sí va a venir entre la 3.8 y la 3.9 más o menos, que pues eso, 3-4 meses, son 3.8, 3.9.
Significantly, Arena Commander a little bit, is that once...
No, 3.8, no, ¿qué coño? 3.8, 3.9. La 3.8, 3.9, sí, la 3.9 puede ser... La 3.9 son 3 meses, pero luego ya la 4.0 son 4 meses, por ahí, sí, o sea que sí.
You complete a round or you've lost, you've won or whatever, you're kicked all the way back out to the main menu. That is like it's such a game development, game design 101 faux pas Is like, once you get them in the game, don't kick them out. Like, you've just got them in there. You've just paid, you know, whatever, hundreds of millions of marketing or whatever to get these guys in your game, and you play one round and boop, you know, it's like, that's weird. So we need them to stay in the round. We want the round to keep going. Basically, like, it should complete, and like, just like a lot of other games anyways that you play.
Claro, parece ser que esto va a llegar entre la 3.8 y la 3.9 y es la habilidad de que no nos eche del juego, ¿no? Porque no es que nos eche del juego, pero ahora mismo, cuando nosotros estamos jugando y acabamos una partida, nos expulsa otra vez al menú y que dice que no tiene sentido después de haber pagado millones y millones de dólares de marketing que de repente entres a tu juego y te eche fuera, ¿no? Pues que quieren hacer que eso cambie y que bueno, pues que sigamos pudiendo jugar, ¿no? Pues lo mítico como pasa en otros juegos, otra vez pues podéis verlo en el Battlefield, si me habéis visto jugar alguna vez al Battlefield 5 y tal, tú acabas la ronda y pues ya empieza una cuenta atrás, ¿no? 30 segundos o lo que sea, y ya empieza la siguiente.
Once the round's complete, you get a nice scoreboard, but then a new round starts without any other tomfoolery going on, right? So we want the same thing within Arena Commander, Star Marine as well. So all that matchmaking refactor stuff and the work towards a lobby where it's just a lot easier for them to set up the settings they would want in Arena Commander or even a Star Marine match, all kind of go together.
Yeah, because actually touching on that lobby refactor, you know, just being able to change your loadout, select your loadout from a Star Marine point of view. So I think what happened is we had obviously Star Marine and Arena Commander, and we obviously wanted to get those game modes in there to actually test that core gameplay. But the extraneous things, the things that obviously Sean is talking about, obviously, you know, the smoothness of not having to kick you out of the game or how you actually get into the game is something that we're also going to be focused on going forward, so that we can actually make, you know, from you double-clicking the executable to actually getting into the game, to actually continue playing the game, to make that whole experience a lot smoother so that you can actually stop railing against the machine and actually get into the game and enjoy that aspect. So it's definitely something that's on our mind and something that we're absolutely thinking of going forward.
Bueno, está comentando ahí nuevamente que sí, que es algo de lo que realmente buscan, el que la gente no, pues que hacer una experiencia mucho más suavizada, ¿no? En ese sentido. Menos brusca, ¿no? Más el sentido de que pues ya te metes en la partida, puedes seguir jugando y de esa manera pues obtener que sea más fácil para ellos también, ¿no? Motivar en cierta manera, ¿no? A los jugadores para que sigan dando ese feedback sin ponerle tantas trabas, ¿no? En resumidas cuentas es lo que está diciendo.
We've talked a lot in the past, and you even mentioned it on this show, about how Electronic Access and Star Marine and Star Citizen are games within our game. So it tends to be a little arcadey sometimes with the, you know, with the pickups and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of folks, and that's what this question is about, seek an experience that's closer to what they have in the PU. Like they're looking for an experience in Arena Commander that's much closer to what they can do in the PU, so that they can actually practice without the cost of insurance costs, replacing their ships and stuff like that. What are our plans? What are our thoughts about making Star Marine and Arena Commander closer to a PU experience?
Well, we've got a lot of thoughts on that, and we've started some stuff internally, and we're really hoping to get this in front of people sooner than later, and a lot sooner than you might think. So, Arena Commander, let's start with Arena Commander.
Bueno, ¿qué podemos hacer para que la experiencia de Electronic Access sea más parecida a la del PU?
Commander is a great, again, I sort of said petri dish. It is the core gameplay of ship combat in Star Citizen. Cool. Let's say it's a portion of Star Citizen. It definitely isn't all of it, right? And then you got Star Marine, which is yet another portion. But then you've got other things within it. Again, flight within atmosphere, flight near the ground. You've got, again, different weapon types, different ranges, and things like this. And right now, Star Marine, nor really Arena Commander as a standalone product, well represents what Star Citizen, to me, and to a lot of the developers, I would think just generally to everybody, really represents, because Star Citizen is the whole of all of those. It's the whole of a ship, it's the whole of a character, it's the interchange between the two of them that are...
Dice básicamente de que sí, tenemos por un lado la Arena Commander, que tiene la tecnología base de las naves de Star Citizen, del Star Marine, que tiene la tecnología base pero del FPS. Entonces está diciendo que ahora mismo no representa para nada, porque además hay diferentes armas, diferentes distancias, vuelo en atmósfera, salir de la atmósfera. Entonces dice que Star Citizen que representa lo que es todo el pack, ¿no? El pack completo, el auténtico rock and roll. Bueno, el pack completo de de lo que sería tanto las naves como el FPS y la mezcla entre esos dos, ¿no?
That are happening, whether it's characters within ships, whether it's characters fighting ships, whether that's ground vehicles fighting air vehicles, that's air vehicles fighting
vehículos de tierra, vehículos de aire.
It's all of that. It's a mixed arms game. It's a combined arms game. More similar, or if I was comparing it, Star Citizen, it's not Call of Duty. It's definitely not Gears of War or anything like that. It's a much more akin to a Battlefield. It's much more akin to PlanetSide or something like that in terms of.
Claro, dice además, definiendo un poco, adaptando un poco, el Star Citizen no es Call of Duty, no es un Gears of Wars, es más bien un Battlefield, un PlanetSide.
Of the core combat gameplay. I'm not saying the economy and everything else.
No está diciendo la economía, está hablando del combate, ¿no? Se refiere al combate.
In charge of now.
Y nada de eso, solo el combate.
Yes, there's economy and everything else. So the concept here is if you could basically take.
Mirad la puta cara de Discolando, pero Dios mío, ¿qué le pasa, tío?
30 minutes, and I would bring somebody off the street and I'd go, okay, I'm going to show you what Star Citizen is in 30 minutes, right? I kind of don't want them to go load out the PU. Because right now, if I go load out the PU, even as a developer, I wake up in Port Arthur, I get out of bed, now what? And a brand new guy is like, if nobody's saying, go to the ship terminals, get a ship, go do a mission, go do some mining, whatever. It'll take some time to get into it. And by half an hour, maybe he started mining at that moment. Now, some of us don't have as much time. We need really that 30 minutes to be an adrenaline-filled experience. Like if I could take 30 minutes of the PU in the very best case, like everything went exactly how we want it to be set up. We've got people here, we've got people here, they've got these vehicles, they've got these vehicles. This is the scenario that they have to go in. That would be an enthralling and exciting experience to me. And that would more represent what Star Citizen ultimately really is and what happens within the PU. So the best thing we could get is, getting combat to work within a sort of round-based, objective-based, scenario-based game like it works in the PU, basically. So give some reasons for a lot of the stuff to exist. Again, I'm rambling a little bit, but
claro, como un poco se cabrón. Dice, bueno, que estoy rodeando un poco la explicación, pero como que un poco. Dice, bueno, es como si fuese, o sea, que lo interesante de conseguir para el Star Marine, por ejemplo, sería, o para Electronic Access, sería tratar de conseguir una experiencia de 13 minutos que representase, por así decirlo, un escenario con, pues, no perfecto, pero en el momento adecuado, en el lugar adecuado, con un equipo en un lado, otro equipo en otro lado, ¿vale? Y pues cada uno con vehículos en ese lado, con otros vehículos en ese lado, que justamente coincidiese en el PU, pues esa sensación de que eso haya coincidido, trasladarlo al Electronic Access, para que eso pues transmita más lo que es el PU, o ese tipo de situaciones que nos podemos encontrar en el PU.
For example, the ballista is a great example. Is like right now, cool, in the PU you can go grab that ballista, you can cart it over to one of the planets and kind of sit in it and hope somebody flies by and then eventually lock them on and shoot them down. It's going to take some time. That's going to take some time, and maybe you get a minute or two of excitement there and it's over. I want to give reasons for these things that we've created to exist, really. Again, that would really have a big part of that game mode, like Ballista, for example, or a Valkyrie, for example. Those things are really, really meaningful in those sort of setups, and they all have roles. And I think those roles haven't been, in a lot of cases anyways, that aren't, in a lot of cases they haven't really been pushed. They haven't really been identified that clearly or proved in that sense. So again, Ballista being a really powerful anti-air. How? Show me it happening, right? And again, it will take some time for that to happen in the PU. But I think again, putting something together that's kind of the combination of Arena Commander, Star Marine makes a lot of sense.
Building a micro.
Claro, dice que por ejemplo en el caso de una balista o de una Valkyria, una Valkyrie, que todavía no se puede ver su potencial o no se puede ver su potencial en el PU. Y que, por ejemplo, pues cosas como decir, o sea, sí, la balista es un gran antiaéreo, que puedes pasarte ahí, puedes estar en un planeta, puedes estar ahí esperando ahí, ¿no? En una estación o lo que sea. O sea, una estación en un autobús esperando a ver qué pasa, a ver que venga un notario y que eventualmente, pues, podrás haber esperado un tiempo, llevará un tiempo esperar ahí, ¿no? Pero después de esperar, pues podrás tener tu minuto de gloria habiéndote cargado esa nave, ¿no? Pero en el caso de la Valkyria, pues lo mismo, que todavía no se ha podido empujar ahí en el sentido, ¿no? Para lo que son los roles específicos que tienen ese tipo de naves. Entonces, dice que todavía además va a pasar un tiempo hasta que eso en el PU sea posible. Y dice que pues que el Arena Commander, el Star Marine, pues que sirve para juntar estas cosas y bueno, pues tratar de ir haciendo, ¿no? Tratar de tener esa experiencia.
If the persistent universe is the macrocosm,
Sure.
taking Star Marine and Arena Commander and turning it into a microcosm, a condensed version of what you could experience in the PU.
Yes, but without massively changing the rules, right? Like, I mean, everybody's going to come into it with a certain set of expectation in terms of how does it work already in the PU. Now, because of the concept of, again, electronic access being a simulation, yeah, we could probably get away with changing a lot of it. But we don't want it to be a different game. Also, we don't have the resources to actually make a whole separate sort of game. Like, and that's one of the.
Claro, bueno, además dice de que está comentando Lando de que si el Star Citizen es un macrocosmos, ¿no? Que sería como que el Electronic Arts sería como algo concentrado de ese macrocosmos. Y efectivamente comenta Sin que tampoco, o sea, que sí, que tampoco quieren, que efectivamente que sea algo así concentrado, pero que tampoco quieren hacer grandes cambios al comportamiento de las cosas, ¿no? No quieren hacer un juego diferente. Contra Electronic Arts y el Star Marine quieren hacer que eso sea parte también del PU y además que tampoco tienen los recursos necesarios como para hacer otro juego totalmente distinto, ¿no?
That's one of the difficulties with doing this. So.
Dice que además es una de las dificultades que tienen, ¿no? Cuando hacer esto.
Interesting idea to research.
I think the other thing as well, when we look at that, is that if we make it more representative on the PU, it's a more efficient on the development side as well. Because,
yes, of course.
You know, we're looking at designing these systems that are feeding the PU, you know, going into squadron, and if these systems are all being utilized in that same manner, then it helps us make better decisions. Because, you know, if we're trying to make, oh well, the gunplay is not very good in PU, but it's great in Star Marine, well, that's not what we want. What we want is that Star Marine is representative of what the PU is, and then we know that if it's good in the PU, it's good in Star Marine. And that's why when we talk about, you know, these, say the Good Doctor, for example, trying to have a bit more longer range of sights, or when we've released attachments, so scopes.
Claro, está comentando de que ellos lo que quieren es que no quieren separarlo además por el hecho de que así obtienen un feedback para el PU y para el Escuadrón 42 y pueden saber cómo las cosas se comportan. Y que si una cosa sirve para el PU, también servirá para el Star Marine, ¿no? O para el Arena Commander. Además, de hecho, es una de las razones por las que está comentando que han hecho que el mapa de Good Doctor sea más amplio y pues para tener más rangos, ¿no? Mayores rangos.
So you've got more view sight, you know, you've got longer ranges. So
y así
I
tenemos,
think that's something that we absolutely.
Y pues incluyendo así los attachments, ¿no? Los accesorios, las armas y demás. Pues las miras de aumento, pues el underbarrel, ¿no? O sea, lo que va debajo el accesorio que va debajo del cañón, diferentes cosillas que han metido, ¿no?
Want to go towards that, you know, Star Marine and Arena Commander are more reflective, like you said, that you know, that 5-minute adrenaline filled junkie section, or I always might call it like the trailer of the PU. It's all of the condensed good bits that we say, okay, this is what it could be, in the very, like the microcosm that you said, and then that gives us from a development side of things that we can actually really get, okay, any feedback that we get, anything that we want to change, any balance that we want to work towards, that we're using those resources efficiently across all of the 3 products, not just. Okay.
Claro, además está diciendo de que precisamente pues eso tiene mucho más feedback de algo que pase constantemente, ¿no? Que algo que simplemente pase pues durante 5 minutos en el PU y que de esa manera pues pueden también mirar si necesitan pues balancear algo, equilibrar algo, ¿no? Y que precisamente pues pues es lo interesante, ¿no?, de esta forma de trabajar, que no solo estás trabajando para una parte solo, sino que estás trabajando para las tres, para el Escuadrón 42, para el PU, el Persistent Universe y el universo persistente, y también el Star
We're
Marine
doing
Arena
this
Commander.
for Star Marine, because then you get a really dangerous balance that we're dealing with multiple different SKUs, and to be honest, that's not what we want. We want it to be good across all three. So that's definitely something that we've discussed previously.
Very well said.
Following up on what you said about, you know, being able to maximize the efficiency of work, being able to set work to multiple things. One of the questions is asks if locations made for Arena Commander and Star Marine, like the Good Doctor, are designed with the idea that one day they'll be included in the PU.
I wouldn't say they're designed with that mentality in mind necessarily. I think it's almost the other direction, a little more, where something that got created for the PU, we want to try to reuse as much as possible. So super interesting on the Good Doctor map, that very little of that is brand new art. Very little. You know, a bit of the exercise.
Está comentando del tema del nuevo diseño del mapa de Good Doctor, si se va a utilizar en el PU o si... O sea, en el universo persistente, o si cosas nuevas que se hagan en el Star Marine van a ser utilizadas en el Persistent Universe. Y dice precisamente que más bien es en la otra dirección, y que muy poca del arte que han hecho ha sido solo para el Star Marine, que todo ha sido reutilizado. Prácticamente todo ha sido reutilizado del Persistent Universe para hacer el mapa de Good Doctor.
Size areas, some of the treadmills, dumbbells.
The dumbbells had to be made.
That got made, but generally that was reused building sets, and that's the whole idea here, is that, you know, we don't need a 100-man team to make this new stuff. We've got 90 gigs worth of
modular assets.
Yeah, that we can use, and actually, if you can kitbash that stuff together and make it look as good as that looks, right? That looks totally unique in its own sense. So why not? Now, having said that, it is a representation of what Lear 2 planet would be. Having said that, it's not actually what Lear 2 is going to be in the actual PU. Now, can I sort of hand-wavy this away where it's like, oh, well, it's electronic access, it's just a simulation, so kind of, yeah. But the reality of it is that we've not made Lear 2 as a planet yet. And actually, what we created, we really wanted to have a planetized location. We wanted it to be on Lear 2 because of the story and the lore and everything. So yeah, we took the Hurston planet, tweaked it, and dropped the map on it, and called it a day. Right? So this is not taking a whole team's worth of people to do that.
Claro, dice que simplemente no es pillar un equipo entero para hacer lo que han hecho en el mapa de Good Doctor, ¿no? Que simplemente han pillado un cacho de... O sea, que han pillado Hearthstone, el planeta de Hearthstone, y le han puesto ahí el tema encima y a correr.
Yeah, we want to tweak it a little bit, but Lear 2 will likely end up looking a little bit different in sense, but let's say that we're kind of teasing what it might look like. So I would say that the mentality is actually not the way of, you know, building those specific things for Arena Commander or Star Marine or any other mode for that matter, and then giving them over to the PU. It's more the PU will build something and we will consume it as much as possible.
You've mentioned several times that it's actually the Good Doctor level is actually there on a planet.
Yes, well, and yeah, we don't talk about that enough. We've not done that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when players load into the Good Doctor, they're actually loading the entire planet?
Yeah, it's actually, yeah, and it sounds super inefficient when you say that.
Wanted you to get to it.
But yeah, it's actually more efficient to do that than it is to cull it out. So there's actually more expensive to cull, but it's just the way the planets are built, right? And they're not that expensive.
So they're built to be super efficient.
And you know, Marco is essential on that.
Claro, dice que a la hora de... Está preguntando, pero realmente cuando cargamos el mapa al Star Marine, cargamos el mapa entero, ¿no? O sea, el planeta entero. Sí, realmente sí que se carga entero y parece que suena poco eficiente, pero realmente es más caro llamarlo fuera de que dejarlo entero, ¿no? O sea, quitar partes que dejarlo entero. Y además parece ser que Marco, que es el que ha diseñado así esa tecnología de planetas, ¿no? Que parece que la forma en la que están hechos que es súper eficiente y demás.
Like the planets run really quickly. The planets are not the problem, right? The planets are very seldomly our performance issue. It's all the stuff on them that becomes a problem. So yeah, most of that planet is there. There's not anything on it though, which is the thing. So if they can figure out how to bug out outside of that,
they just get to run.
Take a tour of an empty planet. Yeah, sure.
Richard, what's your strategy for balancing FPS combat? This person asks, do you tune it towards more highly skilled players? Do you tune it towards the entry level? What are our thoughts about the general balancing of FPS combat?
I think when we come
Claro, ¿cómo haces para equilibrar el combate FPS? Lo dicen a Richard, ¿no? Y además le preguntan, ¿tunea más lo que es el nivel de entrada? ¿Tunea más lo que es ya la experiencia avanzada, ¿no? ¿Qué es lo que...?
to balancing anything really, we want to be tuning it for what feels fun for everybody. I think, tuning it for a specific part of the player base, I don't think gives us what we want. So if we tuned it for the highly skilled players, I think the more inexperienced players would have a harder time, and vice versa. If you tuned it for the new, the new people, then the more skilled players wouldn't have an effective time. So I think what we want to do is actually provide an experience that is accessible to everybody, but also has enough depth for the...
Vale, básicamente está diciendo si le ajustan la experiencia, que se ajusta la experiencia para un nivel de entrada, pues que la gente que tuviese en alto nivel, que fuese más habilidosa, se acabaría aburriendo. Si lo ponen demasiado bestia, entrar lo que sería el juego pues sería demasiado complicado. Entonces que simplemente lo que quieren hacerlo es divertido, ¿no? Y pues tratar de tener un poco los dos mundos, tener algo que sea de fácil entrada, pero que tenga profundidad.
More experienced players to actually invest more time, learn how to use those mechanics and go forward from there. So I think from a balance point of view, any system, not just FPS weapons, I think you always balance it for, the mid ground so that it is accessible as absolutely can be, so that people can come in, and especially when you...
Claro, dice que para cualquier cosa que balancea siempre buscas un punto neutral, bueno, un mid-ground es un punto medio, ¿no? Siempre un punto medio, pero bueno, en eso consiste balancear, en encontrar un punto medio, cojones.
Talking about Star Marine and Arena Commander, where it's basically your drop in, it's plug and play. I think obviously less so on the PU, where you've got more of a time to kind of absorb what's there, kind of understand, and it's a more slower pace. You have more opportunity to learn. I think in terms of when it comes to FPS gunplay, though, I think you absolutely have to tune the weapons so that you get a good sense of feel. How does this feel from a realism point of view? How does it feel from an audio point of view? How does it feel from the visuals? Or the gameplay point of view? Is it all tying together to create that one unique experience for this gun, so that if you then drop, say you drop that pistol and then you get another pistol, that they feel different. It provides a different experience. So I think when we're tuning weapons, we're tuning to play styles, not to skill. And I think those play styles are what define the roles that you play in combat. So, if you're looking at a sniper, then you're wanting long range combat. If you're looking at an AR, then you're looking at more of a medium range combat. SMG shotgun, then you're looking at more low range combat. And then you might want to mix it up. You might want to provide a pistol, but it has a 10-inch barrel, so that it provides more mid-range suppression. So I think from a point of view of that FPS weapon balance, you always balance to play styles and then absolute accessibility. But then you want to...
Ok, está comentando de que a la hora de ajustar, que realmente una vez ajusten la experiencia de las armas, ¿no? De cómo se comporta un arma en general, pues que podrán dedicarse a ajustar lo que es el juego en general, pero no quieren como equilibrarlo, sino más bien ajustarlo a diferentes estilos de juego. Es decir, que si tú tienes pues un arma de franco, pues que, o sea, si quieres ser un estilo de francotirador, pues que tengas armas de larga distancia. Si tienes un rifle de asalto, pues que seas de combate medio. Si tienes un SMG, pues que sea de combate más cercano, o sea, que sea de CQB, ¿no? Y además, si tienes una pistola, pues que claro, que si la pistola pues tiene cañón distinto, pues que claro, que al tener ese cañón distinto, pues el arma se comporta diferente, y que al final, si vas cambiando entre armas, que encuentres un comportamiento diferente del arma de la que ya tenías y tal, con todos sus accesorios y demás, y que se noten los cambios, ¿no?
Up, maybe we have different fire modes. So the salvo, for example, which has a secondary fire mode. If somebody just picks that up as a new player, they can use it, fire it. It's a 50 cal weapon. They'll do well. point and shoot. But vice versa, if you want to be, okay, I'm going to use the frag mode, I'm going to change the fire mode, I'm going to add attachments, I'm going to add a laser dot, or maybe I'll go for an underbarrel flashlight. It's all of those decisions that add depth to the combat that allow other players the more.
Claro, dice que por ejemplo la nueva arma, que hemos visto el otro día, pues, que tiene calibre gordo y tal, que le puedes disparar simplemente y ya está, o que le puedes poner el modo de disparo alternativo y que hará como una especie de escopeta de combate cercano. Entonces que ahí está donde radica el asunto, ¿no? Que tú puedes decidir simplemente al disparar y ya está, o profundizar en el juego y meterle pues los diferentes accesorios, meterle un flash, meterle tal. Y son ese tipo de decisiones los que tienen que ver con la profundidad del juego, ¿no?
Experienced players to invest in that, and I think that's something.
Claro, con la profundidad del juego y así, pues los jugadores experimentados pues que hayan invertido su tiempo en eso, ¿no? Sabrán tomar diferentes decisiones a la hora de equipar un arma.
That we'd always try to do. So I think, I suppose, to answer your question in a short term, is that we don't balance for either. We balance. It's a different type of balancing.
For inclusiveness.
Yes, absolutely, because we want people who play the game to ultimately enjoy the game. So, and I think that comes from NPU and AC and SM. When I was much younger.
Bueno, básicamente, claro, es que llevo todo el rato sin hablar y la pues ha soltado todo de golpe, ¿no? Cabrón. Pero sí que básicamente lo que viene a decir es que no trata de... Lo que busca en el juego principalmente es que sea divertido y trata más que de equilibrarlo todo, que no, que pues diferentes estilos de juego, diferentes cosas. Y claro, o sea, no tiene sentido equilibrar... Efectivamente no tiene sentido equilibrar un rifle de asalto con un francotirador dependiendo de la situación. Cada situación tiene que ser pues un mundo, tiene que ser una cosa aparte, ¿no? No tiene sentido que si tú estás dentro y yo te voy con una SMG, pues tú con el rifle pues tengas... Imaginaos que tenéis tiro, ¿no? Con una Gemini 71, pues yo si te pillo a bocajarro con una custodia en SMG, pues te tengo que partir la cara. O sea, te tiene que dar tiempo, ¿no? En ese sentido, bueno, me puedes... No que no tengas oportunidad, sino que sí, me puedes matar, ok, pero en mi caso la SMG pues me resultará más fácil, más sencillo el llevar a cabo esa tarea, ¿no?
I was much more hardcore FPS, I want to shoot, but as I get older, family, you have less time, but you don't have as much time to invest, so.
La gran verdad. Bueno, dice que claro, yo cuando era joven era mucho más hardcore a la hora de jugar a los FPS y tal, daba duro, pero una vez tienes familia, tienes mucho menos tiempo para invertir. Además, al principio hablando de tiempo para invertir se me olvidaba de que decía de que claro, de que hay diferencias en cuanto al quizás a sensaciones y experiencias que puedes obtener, por ejemplo, del PU y del Star Marine, y claro, que de un Star Marine pues, tienes una experiencia mucho más inmediata, mucho más tal, pero en el PU tienes más tiempo para ver las cosas, para tomarlo con más calma, para ir aprendiendo las cosas más despacio a la hora de utilizar un arma o demás.
I think we want to cater for all different types of players, and I think when you think about it, I think play styles is always the best way to think about it. It's like, why would we make this weapon? Why does it exist? What purpose is it delivering in the combat? Why would you pick this weapon over this other weapon? And I think that's something that we've actually been looking at with the new weapons, and we actually want to revisit a lot of the old weapons. And I think, to be honest, balance is something that never stops, especially in an online game. It's something that you're constantly.
Claro, ahí estoy totalmente de acuerdo con él. Dice que efectivamente en cuanto al balanceo, que debido a lo que me ha comentado su experiencia, de que al principio pues era un jugador muy hardcore cuando era más joven y que ahora pues que tiene otras obligaciones y que no tiene tanto tiempo para dedicarle ese tiempo, ¿no? Para invertir ese... Entonces está diciendo de que claro, de que para centrarse en un juego es mejor bueno, es realidad. Para centrarse en un juego, en el juego es mejor centrarse en los estilos de juego, los diferentes estilos de juego, las diferentes posibilidades, el por qué escoger este arma, por qué no escoger este arma.
Constantly going over.
Y aparte de que dice de que claro, de que en un juego multijugador masivo, en un juego online como este, estás totalmente balanceando las cosas y que además el enfocarse en diferentes estilos de juego ha sido precisamente lo que les ha llevado a volver a revisar armas, bueno, al final es eso, siempre van a estar constantemente balanceando el juego, ¿no?
provoke, okay, the meta's changed here, or this new weapon has changed the dynamic. Or, for example, we were talking...
Claro, dice, por ejemplo, puede aparecer un arma que cambie una arma nueva, que cambie la dinámica, entonces pues igual hay que revisar otras cosas también, o sea que siempre se está toqueteando, ¿no? Para tratar de ajustarlo todo.
About healing might totally change how effectiveness, alpha strike weapons are. And I think, if you've got a shotgun, but all of a sudden your friend can then revive that person who's just been shot and taken out, then it changes that dynamic. So I think balance is something that's always an ongoing process for...
Que además, imaginaos que tenéis un arma que es un pepino, que lo matas de un tiro a un notario, pero de repente pues pues hay una opción de que es de curar y pues simplemente pues metes una jeringuilla o lo que sea y curas al compañero, lo levantas, entonces eso cambiaría la experiencia de que resultaría, ¿no? de ese arma, ¿no? De haberlo matado del todo o de repente pues que te reviva, ¿no? Que al final es una constante revisión de los
across the whole
ajustes.
game, not just FPS weapons, but economy, your ship balance, you can see the flight model. So
además,
I think that's something that we'd always look to.
Que además esto se extiende a todo el juego, tanto la economía como las naves. Esta forma de pensar, de ajustarlo constantemente todo, ¿no?
Unique existence for each weapon, and think any new weapon going forward, we're hoping to try and get that niche, unique gameplay, and how that feels, so that it gives you a real identity in terms of why you want to use that weapon, and vice versa. Look at all the existing weapons that we've already released and say, okay, maybe the shotguns, for example, maybe they're feeling too similar. Maybe we want to.
Que además dicen que está haciendo una cosa bastante interesante que me mola bastante. Dice que para cada arma como que tenga su pequeño nicho para jugarla, ¿no? Y que tenga su pequeño estilo de juego. De hecho, está comentando de que, por ejemplo, en el caso de las escopetas, que el caso de las escopetas como que parece que todas se juegan iguales, ¿no? Entonces como que se podría revisar eso.
Change one to be a full auto, that kind of thing. So it's something that's constantly being worked on. But yeah, hopefully that's gives you a bit more insight into how we go around working on the weapons.
Just give me my Team Arena rocket jump and my Tribes 2 spin fuser and I'll be good, Richard.
Well, I do say Star Citizen's the every game.
Bueno, la verdad es que está muy interesante la forma de trabajar, ¿no? De que realmente cada arma, que si las coges, pues tiene su papel, tiene su terreno, ¿no? Tiene su terreno, su forma de jugar, su estilo. Eso la verdad es que nos va a hacer pensar bastante, ¿no? A la hora de... Ojalá se diferencien hasta ese punto, o sea, hasta el punto en el que se diferencian las naves, ¿no? No tiene nada que ver tener una Gladius con tener una M50, con tener una 315. Tienen formas de comportamientos diferentes, ¿no? Si eso también lo trasladan a las armas, estos señores va a ser un juegazo vastísimo. En plan de, pues me apetece ir... Bueno, como pasa un poco que estoy jugando al Ghost Recon, al Breakpoint, ¿no? Y voy con el arma con las armas de SMG y tal, y que cada una tiene sus comportamientos, sus peculiaridades, su distancia, ¿no? Todo eso si lo modificasen sería brutal.
Right?
Yeah. All right. So we're actually almost out of time, so we got time. What? I'm going to try to get 3 more questions in. I know, we're actually 10 minutes over, so we're going to try to get 3 more questions in.
Por cierto, Discolando ha dicho que evidentemente sabemos que no es un jugador muy habilidoso, por lo menos no lo parece, ¿no? En los directos que ha dicho, a mí darme mi lanzagranadas y... O sea, mi lanzacohetes y lanzagranadas y a correr, ¿no?
From the chat, can we please add jetpack? I just said Tribes 2 in the chat is asking about jetpacks.
Jump jets.
Jump jets.
Yeah, and most people know I'm coming from a mech warrior back.
Que hablemos sobre los jump jets. Jump jets, jets de salto. Ha dicho jetpacks, pero no. O sea, vamos a ver qué nos cuenta.
Background too, so I'm a big fan of that. Now we're not going to do tribes, okay? So you're not going to be skiing. You're not going to be.
I'm out.
Yeah, I know. So it's not going to be repetitious jumps. You're not going to be bounce, bounce, bounce. But if you see a cookie, at a really high cabinet, you'll be able to make that one jump.
Vale, que no os flipéis, pero que si veis una galletita en un cajón ahí muy arriba, que sí, o sea, que una estantería muy arriba, que sí, que seremos capaces de alcanzarla.
So we're kind of calling it jump assist.
O sea, que es como, ojo, que es como un asistente de salto. Es como un asistente de salto.
Yes, it uses your thruster pack from EVA and everything. That's the whole concept of it. But it's much more of a bounce than, or bounce is the wrong word. Much more of a jump assist, a one-time jump assist.
Claro, está diciendo que es una especie de asistente de salto de un único uso, ¿no? de que lo puedes usar y es como un asistente de salto.
Take some time.
It makes you Jordan, not Buzz Lightyear.
That is an amazing way to put it.
Vale, dice que dice Discolando que te hace Michael Jordan, no Buzz Lightyear, ¿no?
It makes you Michael Jordan, not Buzz Lightyear. Yes, that's exactly.
And I think also that allows us, as we touch on future armor gameplay, it allows us to have a differentiation between different types of armor. So I think some armors will be more associated with the jump assist, and like the heavier armors may less so. So it's just one of the many different things that we're going to utilize to differentiate.
Interesante. De hecho, está hablando de las armaduras y comenta de que precisamente las que dependiendo de la armadura, pues puede que sean más afines al asistente de salto, pero que, por ejemplo, en el caso de las armaduras pesadas, puede que sean menos afines a ese tipo de mecánica. Y esto es una de las cosas interesantes de llevar diferentes tipos de armadura. Se pone interesante el juego, ¿eh?
Different armors going forward.
It's been a while since we've talked about Saddleball. Since we've mentioned Saddleball, since anybody's heard anything about Saddleball. The questions, it's been through chat for the last hour. Anybody want to...
Bueno, esto lo voy a poner por aquí un momentito. Vamos a ver. Darme un segundo. Porque acaban de preguntar sobre el Sataball. Y el Sataball... No, Sataball, o como sea, ¿no? Pero... Sataball, a ver si puedo enseñaros... Una imagen. Vale. Bueno, pues básicamente esto viene siendo el Sataball. Que aquí está, mira. Era como un entorno cerrado, ¿vale? Donde se podía jugar pues con una especie de bola y tal. Y es un mapa pues de Electronic Access. Pues entrabas por aquí, ¿no? Y pues ahí veis el mapa del Sataball. Es como una esfera. Pero pues se supone que es como un brilé, ¿vale? Del estilo brilé, creo, si no recuerdo mal, pero con un Sataball, ¿no? Con una bola en la mano. Este era el rollo. Pues ahí tenéis, ¿no? Que todavía pues se pregunta qué se sabe de él, porque no se ha vuelto a saber nada más del tema, ¿no? Y a ver qué nos comenta. Ahí habéis visto. Ajá. Ajá.
People want to know if there's any update at all on Saddleball.
Not really. To be totally honest with you guys, there's not a huge update on it, and I'll tell you why. We've talked pretty much this whole time about, again, the coexistence of PU Squadron and Electronic Access, and the fact that they all kind of play off each other, right? So there's work that happens here that can be applied here. There's work that happens in the PU that can be applied there. Saddleball is totally unique in its own regards, right? So the idea of it, the concept of it, doesn't exist anywhere else in Star Citizen, right? So it's a zero-G only thing. It's a core. It's not core gameplay at all. It is a whole different set of gameplay that only exists in that one mode. So if we had the resources, it's really, really hard for me to put them on that because it's only serving that. And it's not serving some PU stuff. It's not serving some Squadron stuff. It's not serving just Arena Commander Star Marine as its own.
Claro, está comentando de que el juego está, o sea, las mecánicas que hay en ese juego, el core, el núcleo, la base, no se utilizan para nada, ¿no? Y entonces, no se utilizan para nada, no comparten, no conviven con el Persistent Universe y con el Escuadrón 42. Entonces, que aunque tuviesen los recursos necesarios para poner gente ahí, que sería realmente algo difícil de hacer, porque es algo totalmente distinto, ¿no?
as its own thing. So basically, everything that we're trying to put resources on is, you know, Rich was running through the weapons and the armor gameplay and all this. All of it's benefiting PU, Squadron 42, and then Arena Commander, Star Marine. So we need to work on those things because we don't have that many. It is the lowest priority in terms of the 3 games. So I can't feel okay working on a specific and only that area mechanic that only benefits that one little section.
Yeah, I think when we...
Claro, dice que además dice que no puede estar contento con la idea de trabajar solo o sea, de los tres escenarios que tienen, de los 3 juegos que tienen, que son el Escuadrón 42, el Electronic Access y el Persistent Universe, que no estaría tranquilo, ¿no?, dedicándole esfuerzos a algo que realmente solo vale para esa parte, ¿no?, para esa sección, que es el SATABAL.
First talked about it in 2015, we talked about how it would help with push-pull mechanics, but that's one small, compared to everything else that we have to do.
Sure.
It seems like a lot of work.
But it's like
saying,
dice que además podría ayudar con el tema de empujar y tirar, o sea, de empujar y tirar, las mecánicas de empujar y tirar, pero que hay muchísimas más cosas que hacer que eso, ¿no? Y ahí eso es lo que acaba de decir Scolando, ¿no? Dice que sí, que efectivamente que...
It's like saying that you do it, and here, okay, so before I get too far, Chris will behead me if I go, Sanabol ain't happening. That's not what I'm saying. This is not at all what I'm saying. I would love to do this. It's just in the priority set, it's a little bit lower because of that mechanic. Now, to go back to the push-pull sort of concept.
Creo que acaba de decir que le estallaría la cabeza si de repente Chris Robert le dice que hay que priorizar el SATABOL.
Right. That might help push-pull, or it might slow it down, even. Because the requirements are like, within Squadron 42, I'm sure there'll be a 0G section that we use push-pull in some way, right? Hopefully, right? So I'm not made a liar later. I doubt you'll be holding a SATA ball. That's kind of my...
Claro, dice que incluso el trabajar en el tema del SATA-Ball, que incluso podría ser un paso atrás en ciertas cosas, ¿no? Además dice que, ok, puede que haya mecánicas en el Escuadrón 42 en una experiencia en 0G que tengas que, o sea, en 0G en gravedad cero, que tengas que empujar o tirar de cosas, ¿no? Pero ok, seguiría sin haber el concepto de tener en la mano una bola SATA, un SATA ball.
Point, right, is yeah, okay, maybe it'll help it, but it'll probably actually slow it down, if anything, because it's so unique in its own sense. It's not just push-pull with a weapon. No, it's push-pull with a weapon and a gun. Or with a weapon and a gun, with a ball and a gun. So it's just this one unique bit that I just can't.
Claro, que además que dice que es empujar una bola con un arma y con... O sea, es como empujar con un arma y tenerla en la mano, ¿no? O sea, que es complicado, porque el SATA-Ball era también como... Es complicado de cojones el juego, o sea, lo que había visto, pero... no sé si habría alguna escena por ahí de... Pero bueno. Que es demasiado único, demasiado preciso para tenerlo en cuenta, para trabajar en ello, y que no beneficiaría al resto de entorno de lo que es Star Citizen.
Put people on when it doesn't benefit the mass of...
Sí, tío, efectivamente. Son partidas en plan como lo que sale en el juego de Ender. Efectivamente. Tal cual.
Of stuff that we need to do.
I think one thing as well to reflect on is that, you know, we're talking about all of the new things that we want to add to the game, but I don't think any of us here would say that we're happy with the core gameplay, what's there right now. Yeah. So, you know, in terms of the core gameplay, we still feel like we've got a long way to go. You know, we've got some really good plans that we want to action. We've got some really good ideas in terms of making that AC and SM more reflective of the PU, to make us more efficient on the development side, to make us make better decisions. So I think we've got an idea of where we want the core gameplay to be, and I think when we get there, it's going to be a really exciting time. But, you know, we've still got new things coming along the way as well. So Zero-G push-pull is obviously a perfect example, but then you come in terms of intent and focus, and the intent and focus on Zero-G push-pull is to deliver Zero-G push-pull and that mechanic, and, you know, that's not a trivial mechanic to deliver. So it's basically climbing in space. So I think when you look at all of the things that we want to focus on, you absolutely want to get that foundational core gameplay there. You want to get that absolutely solid and foundational. And then obviously, because we're a live product, we're constantly adding new things to the game because we're a large team. We have lots of focus. But I think when you come down to, say, Satterball, I think it's something that's so unique and bespoke. Really, I think we'd be doing it in an expense of something that really we want to get the foundations right first.
Dice precisamente que no están contentos todavía con el pilar, con los fundamentos del juego, ¿no? Que todavía queda mucho trabajo por hacer. Y que realmente ponerse como Satterball sería como tratar de hacer algo específico, que sería como una especie de escalar en el espacio, ¿no? Escalar agrandándose a cosas y demás, ¿no? Entonces que esa mecánica que es como demasiado específica y que incluso les obligaría pues como a tener que trabajar en eso solo, porque además es solo específicamente dedicado a hacer ese tipo de cosas en el espacio, ¿no? Y que no es algo vital para lo que es el entorno de Star Citizen en sí. Y entonces que incluso les obligaría a tener que dejar de trabajar en otras cosas, ¿no?
So I think
Más importantes, de vital importancia.
Really is that the core gameplay is something that we want to get focused. We really want to get that driving and going forward and honing that down to something that absolutely delivering on the vision of the three products. And then we can start adding in the new mechanics. And then, once we got those new mechanics, say 0G push pull them, the more larger mechanics, then something that we can look at in the future.
Y además dice que efectivamente que es un juego que es un directo y es online y van metiendo cantidad de cosas. Tienen un gran equipo de trabajo para ir haciéndole, añadiendo cosas, y que pues a medida que vayan haciendo lo que son las bases, sentando las bases, afianzando bien las bases de lo que es el juego, el motor del juego, ¿no? De cómo somos los personajes y tal, pues podrán ir añadiendo grandes mecánicas, ¿no? Grandes mecánicas a lo que es el proyecto. Una vez esas mecánicas estén contentos de cómo funciona, de cómo va todo, pues podrán ir pensando en, por ejemplo, en hacer el tirar, empujar en el espacio y demás, ¿no? Ir añadiendo, pero de cara al futuro, ya cuando tengan lo que son las bases bien hechas. Y que pues efectivamente sí, como un proyecto que va a estar en constante evolución, pues siempre de cara a un futuro, pues cuando ya todo esto esté resuelto, pues sí se puede mirar el realizarlo del tema del Satterball.
Chat's already talking about making their own Satterball game mode with the turtle. So
beautiful. Do it.
Absolutely.
And man, there's so many things, and I know we're almost...
Están hablando ya dice que Chat está hablando ya de hacer su propio juego de Satterball con tortugas.
At a time, but there's all the things that I do pitch all the time on whenever I get on these things where I can kind of push a little idea anyways, that I want so much of this player facing as much as possible, right? If the players want to come up with a Satterball with a turtle, freaking do it, right? If we can give them a 0G arena, even better. But I'd love to put this stuff in front of the player, for example, racing or anything like that. So we didn't get a chance to talk about racing today, but I'm sure we will have another SCL at some point, and we can talk about what...
I do this every Friday, Sean. There's always another Friday.
Yeah.
Always another Friday.
For me, Fridays don't exist at 8 a.m. This shouldn't even be a thing.
We had to get Richard in.
No, I know, and it was actually super valuable for me to have Richard as
this is a
part
special
of this
Friday for me anyway.
What's that?
Yeah, well, first day on Star Citizen Live, and also my daughter's birthday, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's a nice.
Bien, están hablando de que tampoco han tenido oportunidad. Bueno, que si los jugadores quieren tener un Satterball con tortugas, que se puede meter, ¿por qué no? En plan, y que tampoco han tenido oportunidad tampoco de hablar de los rallies, y la verdad es que me gustaría a mí personalmente ver rallies en Electronic Access. Creo que sería la hostia, ¿no? Ver un rally ahí top pepino, top pasado. O hacerlo en el PU, ¿no? Ya veremos. Pero algo que fuese bien hecho, ¿no? Un circuito tocho, tal, rollo, no sé, ¿cómo se llamaba? Además el Acrópolis, puede ser, el Acrópolis, que es el que revienta neumático, revienta todo, que es durísimo, que podría parecerse así a Hearthstone. Creo que es ese, ¿no? El Rally Acrópolis. Bueno. El caso. El caso, así que el pibe simplemente acaba de decir que bueno, que este es su primer Star Citizen Live, que los viernes siempre son especiales y tal, porque bueno, pues el viernes toca Star Citizen Live y tal. Él dice que a partir de las 8 el viernes no existe. Y, y que bueno, que simplemente decir que para él que pues ha dicho que es el cumpleaños de su hija, el primer cumpleaños de su hija y tal, y está todo contento ahí.
We want the players to be able to build this stuff when they can. So, for example, in racing, I've talked about it before. I want to give them pylons. I want to give them the ability to set a gate height and all this kind of stuff so they can actually set it within the world. They can set a start gate, they can set the end gate, then they can set all the middle ground sort of stuff. They do it anyways. Let's just give them just a teeny tiny bit of structure. And people will go crazy with that. Then it's one of these 10-time sort of improvements that you can make because, again, the players outnumber the developers by about 1,000 to 1, right? Like even further. So
more than that.
It's probably a bit more, right? Well, let's say currently playing players, right? Based on the metric or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot more players than there is developers, and they'll spend more time on that racetrack, I guarantee you, than a developer will. It's just because they don't have Chris going, I need my soft body pillows and blankets and yeah.
I'd play Turtle Satterball though.
Yeah, I would play Turtle Settleball as well.
Who's asking Chris for a soft body pillow?
Bueno, creo que está diciendo de que básicamente que hay muchísimos más jugadores que hay muchísimos más jugadores que desarrolladores, evidentemente, que un montón más y que estaría bien como darle al entiendo que las herramientas para que diseñen un circuito de rally y que de hecho pues que tendría mucho más sentido que un jugador lo hiciese, pues tiene pues un jugador pues puede tener solo tiempo para eso, ¿no? Puede hacerlo mucho mejor que un desarrollador. Lo que es diseñar el circuito, ¿por qué no va a ser así, ¿no? Entonces luego han terminado con la coña de este de aquí, ¿no? Este de aquí dice, sí, yo también quiero jugar al Satabol con tortugas. Un segundito, ¿ven?
Based on the metric or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot more players than there is developers, and they'll spend more time on that racetrack, I guarantee you, than a developer will. It's just because they don't have Chris going, I need my soft body pillows and blankets and yeah.
I'd play Turtle Satterball though.
Yeah, I would play Turtle Settleball as well.
Who's asking Chris for a soft body pillow?
No, Chris is asking for physicalized soft body pillows and blankets, hard stuff. Hard stuff.
No sé cómo surgió por ahí de que, bueno, en plan de coña, de que el desarrollador está más mezclado, en vez de centrarse en un circuito, estará centrado en hacer almohadas suaves y sábanas y almohadas suaves, ¿no? Y tal. Y Discolando se ha quedado todo pillado en plan de quién ha pedido que se fisicalizaran las sábanas y las almohadas, ¿no? Y he dicho que Chris Roberts ha pedido que las almohadas y las sábanas tienen que estar físicamente en el sitio. What the fuck.
So, yeah.
All right. Last question. We're going to combine a couple questions here we get in. We see a lot of requests for AC maps that utilize...
aparte ha dicho hard stuff, o sea, ha dicho asunto chungo, o sea, fisicalizar las almohadas y las sábanas tiene que ser jodido de cojones. O sea, que cuando veamos una sábana y una almohada en el futuro, estará físico, estará ahí, se podrá tocar, se podrá... Están loquísimos.
Atmospheric flight. We see requests for Star Marine maps that use ground vehicles, stuff like that. Just expanding to the combined arms idea that you said before. What, if anything, can you tell us about that today?
So I want to be careful how much I talk about because, again, small set of resources, trying some stuff. So a lot of what we've talked about today, we have, this isn't the first time we've heard this. This isn't the first idea we've had of this kind of stuff. So we are taking a look at it. They're great ideas. We have some atmospheric flight, have some ground vehicle existence, have some progression within a map where there's different areas that get done. I've already gone too much. So yes, we are taking a look at this kind of stuff, and we want to bring some.
Last question. We're going to combine a couple questions here we get in. We see a lot of requests for AC maps that utilize atmospheric flight.
Vale, sí. Mapas de Arena Commander que utilicen el vuelo atmosférico. Dice que sí, que están pensando en ello, que tienen que tener muy cuidadosos con ello, pero están pensando en diferentes combinaciones de mapas, ¿no? O sea, mapas que sean, pues tengan diferentes combinaciones de escenarios.
So we are taking a look at it. They're great ideas. We have some atmosphere flight, have some ground vehicle existence, have some
Claro, además que ya hay vehículos de tierra existentes, que hay atmósfera existente.
some progression within a map where there's different areas that get done. I've already gone too much. So yes, we are taking a look at this kind of stuff, and we want to bring something to you guys very, very soon here. And whether that's CitizenCon or something in the future, you'll have to.
Vale, que dice que probablemente lo traigan en la CitizenCon, el tema de Electronic Access con atmósfera, puede ser, que puede que lo veamos por ahí.
Just watch this space.
All right. That's it. That's all we got time for. Star Citizen Live, Arena Commander, Star Marine, the Good Doctor. Richard, how was your first show?
Exceptional.
I was so happy to have him. It's been great, by the way, with Rich on this side of the pond. So on the combat pillar in general, most of the staff are actually over in the UK. So though they call me the director of that given pillar, Rich really does the real hands-on work. We have our one-on-one things, and you know, occasionally
We've got a good combo going.
But I think we have a real good team here.
All right, so that's it. Thanks for watching. This will be up on YouTube later today for any, I don't know why I'm talking, if you're sitting here watching it, I don't need to tell you it's on YouTube. That's it. I'm Jared. That's Sean. That's Richard. And it's still really early. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bueno, pues ahí se acabó el Star Citizen Live. Espero que os haya molado. Y ahora voy a parar un momentillo ya el directo, lo dejo así y vuelvo a entrar para hacer el sorteillo del mes, porque estamos a viernes, el último viernes del mes. Así que venimos ahora.